Hello everyone, welcome to probably, most likely the finale of Love, Money, and Rock and Roll. We're being joined by our bro Kyosuke here, but we're waving him away and blankly staring at my textbook. You know, as we do. But yep, last time we finally got some rock and rollin' done. Finally. And yeah, we're going to beat it. Beat game. Game is gonna be beaten. I'm not ending stream until the game is beaten, so this could be like a 7-hour stream for all we know. I don't know how Kyosuke feels about a 7-hour stream, because he's grumbling something, and then he returned to his seat. Oh well. I suddenly felt ashamed for treating him like this. I wasn't doing it out of malice, it was just his personality, and I had no other friends but him. Yep, it's time. Let's end this thing, guys. Let's end it! Class was over pretty soon, and then I realized it was the first time in a while I had some time for myself. Ellie had her own plans. Himitsu was gone, and we'd probably never see each other again. Catherine had vanished from my life just as quickly as she entered it, so I only had Ellie, the flighty, uncontrollable, wayward Ellie. I was walking without aim and soon ended up near the familiar bar. The decision to get drunk at 3 in the afternoon wouldn't have seemed so foolish just a month ago, but now something was stopping me. I didn't want to be a bad example for Ellie, although she seemed to be doing fine self-destructing without my help. Nico-san? A familiar voice I had been hearing way too often called out to me. I turned around and saw Iwamura standing nearby with an innocent look to her, holding her school bag. Have you been following me? I asked, not even trying to hide my irritation. Not at all. She paused, then smiled. Angel love, how you doing today? Welcome to the big finale of this game, maybe, hopefully. How you doing? It's good to see ya. Did you like the bento? Considering Ellie ate most of it. Yeah, thanks. It was delicious. Glad to hear it. Right now, something about her reminded me of Himitsu. I hope you didn't have a fight with Kobayashi because of me. You have nothing to do with that. Hey, Mafia babe, you're here too. You have a bad headache still, Angel Love? Both of you get really bad headaches. I wonder what causes it. I probably said this before, but you two should take a look at that. Ask professional helps. But yeah, it's good to see you both here today. Glad that you could see the ending. Stress? Don't be stressed. It's the finale of Love, Money, Rock and Roll. No reason to be stressed, I think, probably, hopefully. How are you today, Mafia? So you two did fight? Stressful too. You gotta relax, you know? You're in the youth of your prime. Is that the right phrase? I don't know. But yeah, I hope your headache recovers soon. Oh, give me a second. Okay. Kagome looked upset, and I found it hard to tell if she was pretending or not. What difference does that make to you? I try not to sound rude. Well, I'm worried about you, Nico-san. Is that so hard to believe? We fixed the fish tank, and Eel is doing better. That's good. That's the most important thing. Your eel friend is doing good. Alright. Think we can finish this today, guys? Her surprise seemed genuine, even. Worried? But Kagome's question was fair. Yes, she hadn't always behaved appropriately before, but I'd always thought that people can change. You hope so, too. Especially having lived through what she had. Even real criminals feel remorse sometimes. Real criminals, I smirked internally, as if I still believed Kagome was guilty, even though the police no longer suspected her. Yes, I am, because I like you. You like me? I exhaled. Oh, I didn't mean that. I wanted to say that I'm grateful for you saving my father and getting me out of jail, and she looked convincingly embarrassed. Well, Nico-san, you shouldn't make a girl say these things. I didn't. These kind of conversations felt weird to me, as if we were acting out a play, with the difference being that Kagome had the script while I had to improvise. Fine, let's not just stand outside. Wanna go in? I pointed at the bar. If it's an invitation, I guess it is. I didn't know why I even started this. Maybe I really wanted to talk in the middle of the street and couldn't summon the courage to shoot Iwamura away after what she said? I didn't want to talk. Oh, Kolya, hi. The bartender, previously bored to death, quickly latched onto me. I see you aren't alone. A new girl every day. My respect. He'd be a great guy if only he didn't talk so much. I whispered to Kagome, but she just smiled cutely in response. We sat as far away as possible from the bar. I ordered a cola, while she got a herbal tea. Thought you'd get a beer. Who do you think I am? It's only 3 in the afternoon. Yeah, right. How did she even know I like to drink? After getting our drinks, we spent some time sitting quietly, looking in different directions. Finally, Kagome broke the silence. Is everything going well with you and Kobayashi? Why are you asking? Don't know. From outside it seems like. Seems like what? Call it feminine intuition. What's your feminine intuition telling you? Nico-san, I'm not trying to stand between you two. Then what are you doing? Nico-san, I believe it or not, but I really am worried about you. Worried? And do you think Ellie isn't a good match for me? I didn't say that. Right, you didn't say anything. I scoffed and regretted not actually ordering a beer. The entire conversation seemed unnatural, and I couldn't barely understand what I was doing here. Hello, Geek and Rat. How you doing today? Geek and Rat, it's the final episode, the final stream of this game, maybe, hopefully. So, get ready for it. Nico-san, you can always count on me. She raised her hand as if intending to touch my face, but stopped at the last moment and smiled apologetically. So it was becoming more and more obvious that Kagome had feelings for me, or at least she was trying to show them as hard as she could. Look, I don't want to offend you, but I've already got a girlfriend. And do you love her? She asked without blinking an eye. Love? I repeated, as if trying to remember the meaning of the word. You're doing good? Awesome. Glad to hear, and glad to see you here today. Worst of all, there was no answer to the question that would satisfy me. Somehow I couldn't even force out a decent lie. I'm happy with our relationship. Nico-san, don't you see she's using you? Using me how? I asked with surprise. Kagome just shrugged and took a sip, trying to get something out of her system. Are you into psychology? Only the applied kind. To be honest, I had thought on occasion that Ellie only saw me as a convenient way to satisfy her needs rather than an actual person. Needs like security, love, intimacy, passion, or whatever else. But of course, I couldn't confess that to Iwamura. That's all very interesting, but I have to go. I took out my wallet, dropped a big bill on the table, simultaneously giving the bartender a wink. My treat? I did not want to see Iwamura anymore today. Just the idea of her was so suddenly painful to me. Her face alone already brought to mind unpleasant thoughts, which led to doubts and caused a torturous dissonance between reality and what I wanted to believe. I guess in a similar way, people run away from their alcohol dependency, family issues, and a sense of guilt for the crimes they've committed. Seems like it's going to be a nice night. Gomi walked out of the bar after me, stood up behind me, stretching and let out a cute moan. Hey Hiyori, how you doing today? Welcome to the finale of this game, Hiyori. Think we can beat it? How are you? Jesus, don't you have to go home? What about your restaurant? I'm already leaving, Nico-san. It's all she managed to say when Ellie appeared from around the corner. Nick? The first moment of surprise on her face was already giving way to anger. Oh, hi, what brought you here? I just left the karaoke place. It's close by. What are you doing here? You're doing good? Awesome. With you, Amura-san. She added in a threateningly low voice. Kobayashi-san. Just happened to come across Nico-san, and he invited me to spend some time with him at that bar. That sentence was clearly unnecessary. Oh, he invited you? How nice of him. In this situation, I couldn't bring myself to chastise Ellie for being angry. I didn't feel guilty, but at the same time, I felt ashamed, like a child being punished, for something he didn't understand. Ellie, I understand. There's no need for excuses. First you have lunch together, and now you're hitting bars. Kobayashi, you're exaggerating. We're just friends. You're already friends? She flung her arms in the air and smirked powerlessly. Yes, what's wrong with that? Nothing. Kobayashi-san, it's not like Nico-san is your property. Property? No one talking about property. He's just... His face showed intense internal strain. Her face. Capable of choosing his friends. Kagome finished for her and looked at me. Right, Nico-san? I was caught between a rock and a hard place and didn't know what to do. I was supposed to be taking Ellie's side, but I couldn't persuade myself that she was right. After all, it's not like I was interrogating her about who she'd gone to with karaoke and why. Ellie, we really did meet on pure accident. And just couldn't part ways. Sorry, but I don't have to tell you about every single person I talk to who isn't you. You don't have to, she said embarrassed, pressed her lips together. Of course you don't. I'm just worried about you. But it wasn't me Nico-san was talking to. Everything would be fine? Kagome smirked. How do you... Ellie grit her teeth but managed to hold back. I couldn't understand why she hated Iwamura so much. But we end the game because he needed to play Among Us with the new map. Cool. We'll see, Hiyori. And it clearly just wasn't a trivial jealousy. Girls, don't fight. I tried to somehow calm them down, but it didn't quite work. Nick, if you want to spend time with her, be my guest. What do I care? Ellie raised her nose, turned around, and prepared to leave. Jesus Christ, wait! I grabbed her hand, and at the same moment I caught Kagome's gaze on me. Not the most pleasant of situations. Look, I don't want to be rude, but it's time for you to go. Addressed Iwamura. Well, thanks for the tea, Nico-san. Kobayashi-san. She squinted slyly and finally left. I released Ellie's hand and it hung powerlessly against her body. Here, see? Not that I knew what she was supposed to see exactly. Ellie's behavior didn't make much logical sense, but emotionally it was fairly coherent. And the best solution right now would be to assure her of my eternal love, except I couldn't bring myself to. Are you happy now? I am. Ellie finally turned to me, her face devoid of any expression. I don't know what's on Iwamura's mind, but I don't enjoy her advances any more than you. Do you? You look pretty happy at lunch. Because it was tasty. You tried it yourself. Fine, Nick, I understand, she said phlegmatically. What do you understand? Everything. And I have to go. There's a lot of homework to do. Homework? I don't remember it ever bothering you. I mean, Ellie usually did her homework when she found the time, but I couldn't say she cared much beyond that. Suppose Iwamura is a straight-A student? How the hell would I know? I just don't want to lag behind. Ciao! Don't forget about the rehearsal tomorrow. This time I didn't stop her. Tired of arguing about each and every one of her stupid ideas. She'd probably come to her senses and apologize tomorrow. But I still felt somewhat uneasy. I couldn't get Ellie's upset, arrogant expression out of my mind. Maybe it was the look of a model in a beauty pageant having taken second place, now sitting in the dressing room. The camera's no longer directed at her. What would I think if I saw Ellie with a guy I didn't like? Knowing myself, I wouldn't like any guy I saw around her more and more. And this was Iwamura we were talking about, but I couldn't influence Kagome's behavior, except maybe telling her to fudge off. But that would only be indulging Ellie's whims, and what would be next? I felt more and more like that I was willing or unwillingly to accept my life, adapting my life, actions, or even my thoughts to Ellie's wishes. Did everything not to offend her or spoil her mood. God, I'd become Himitsu. At first I justified it by the need for Kobayashi Jun's protection. Oh, I transformed into Himitsu, guys. I'm Himitsu now, yay! Then I tried to persuade myself that I liked the relationship, that I liked Ellie. No, I really did like Ellie a lot, but how much of it was love and how much was pity? I suddenly realized that in many ways she suffered more than I did, more than anybody I knew. The drugs, the music, even her occasionally exaggerated love for me were evidence of that. Meanwhile, I'd become stuck in the relationship long before I realized it, and now there was no way back. Spent the rest of the day at home, walking from one room to another with a book in my hands. I had to reread each paragraph several times to keep track of the story. The sudden realization of the essence of my feelings toward Ellie was annoying me. What good was I as a savior if I couldn't even help myself? But Ellie loved me. At least she thought she did. She trusted me. So who else if not I? Turns out I hated Ellie. She was the worst thing ever. I am dead now. Yay! Bad end. Either way, the dinner with Kagome and the following conversation gave Ellie reason enough to grow jealous. Even if I didn't believe I had done anything wrong as a man, I had to apologize and somehow prove my words with action. It was a hard night. I seemed to be sleeping, but at the same time I could almost see my room and the sunrise over Tokyo through her dream and hear the birds singing in the yard. In the end, I woke up in the morning with a feeling that someone had poured melted cast iron into my head and let it solidify. Ew. One of the shirts you got yesterday at the thrift store goes down to your knees. Oh my gosh, what kind of shirt did you get? Either you got a very, very big shirt or you're actually very, very tiny. I'll go with, I don't even know what I would go with here. I hope it looks cool, though. That's the most important thing. I hope you look fresh still. It was a man's like 2XL. Okay, so it's big. It's his big shirt then. Why the heck do you get a big shirt like that, you crazy kid? On the other hand, given my general dull condition, the idea of a serious conversation with Ellie didn't scare me as much as it could. Once I got to school, I immediately went to her classroom, but Ellie was nowhere to be found. Ah, it's comfy. There you go. Comfort. That's the one rule, comfort. Her classmates said that she was yet to show up today. I sat through my first class, but Ellie still hadn't appeared, and the second one. I checked the old music classroom, to no result. When I was walking back in desperation, I met Takehito. Anoken-kun, good afternoon. Same to you. Have you by chance seen Ellie? Kobayashi-san, are you two together? I could not understand whether she was mocking me or not, so I turned around and pointed at the empty corridor behind me. Hang on, give me a second. I know, more give me a second. Right? Right? Okay, we're good. We're good, guys. We're all good. Does it look like she's around? I see. The local morality police officer smirked. You see what? That Kobayashi-san has finally come to her senses. If she's not at school today, it's not a reason to draw far-fetched conclusions, you know? Indeed. Then where was she? Takehito straightened up arrogantly. She went to the doctor. And if you knew that all along, why are you looking for her? Oh, screw you! I waved her away and passed by, giving a girl a threatening look. Man, I'm such a nice person. But I had nothing to accuse Takehito Toko of. All she did was turn my own words against me, albeit not without some gloating. Unfortunately, the simple knowledge that someone is right is rarely enough, and I felt somewhat irrational antipathy toward her. Although, to be honest, I currently didn't need much of a reason to snap at anyone I met. Kyosuke seemed to have noticed that and decided not to interrogate me. I was sitting in the classroom and feverishly thinking through all the possible reasons for why Ellie hadn't come to school that day. Of course, health issues looked plausible enough, even a hangover, but my brain was constantly coming up with images of events, terrible events, that would follow her absence. There was Kagimaru stuffing me into a trunk and bringing me into a forest. There were people giving me a shovel and making me dig my own grave. Meanwhile, Kobayashi Jun was giving a dramatic speech of which I couldn't understand a word. Nick, are you alright? You're gonna finish a 4-stream streak, but you need to watch another one of your 5 live streams. Oh, we'll see. Hope you have the editor moderator for your stream. What does that mean? What do you mean, my friend? But cool, you're getting your streak big. What? Kyosuke was standing over me, looking concerned. Class ended 5 minutes ago, and you're just still standing here with a blank slate. From outside, I must have looked stupid, and that suddenly made me feel unbelievably disgusting, as if I ended up in the middle of a classroom with my pants off. Ew. So what? I shouted at him. I can't take my time to think anymore. You can, Nick. Damn, cool down. It's just not like you. What's like me, then? Wanted to ask you if you wanted to go to the cafeteria, since Ellie-sama isn't at school today. How do you know she isn't? Edit some details. What are you talking about now? How would you be able to edit details? How about I can do that. I can edit me own details. I immediately got mad. Everybody knows. He smiled idiotically. Who's everybody? Nick, calm down. Michael walked up to us. I gave him an askew look, but still tried to get myself together. Fine, never mind. Did you two have a fight or what? No. Could one say that two people had a fight when one of them just got upset with another and didn't want to talk? My condolences. For what? I told you we weren't. Well, just in case. Kyosuke. Michael stopped him. Alright, shutting up. I don't know for how much longer I could bear with his tedious if the bell didn't save me. Kagome was paying me no attention, as if the previous day had never happened. Finally, I decided to talk to her myself. Hi, do you want to tell me anything? Hello, Nico-san. She smiled at me as if I just appeared in the classroom rather than having sat at the same room with her for the past 5 lessons. What do you want me to say? I didn't know. All I could do at the moment was poke fingers, although I'd always seen this activity, so dear to every Russian, as completely pointless. Why do you always create misunderstandings? Misunderstandings, Nico-san? You were talking about your feminine intuition. Put yourself in Ellie's shoes, then. How would you react? She thought about it, then smiled as if she'd found an answer to a question that had been bothering her for a long while. If I were her, Nico-san, I wouldn't get jealous over trivial stuff. Uh-huh, gotcha. Alright. Really wanted to ask her whether she'd fallen in love with me, but asking it here in the presence of the entire class was absolutely not an option. Are you so surprised by it, Nico-san? By what exactly? Instead of an answer, she made a face that was simultaneously telling me too much and not giving me anything to latch onto. You understand? I desperately wanted to finish this conversation, or even go back to the past and never have started it. Fine, forget it. I returned to my desk and barely managed to stay for the last class. If the mountains won't go to Mohammed, Ellie could skip school, but not rehearsal. Walked to the studio with very mixed feelings. Iwamura was giving me rather unambiguous hints, all but throwing herself at me. Perhaps in some other reality I'd enjoy that much attention from a person of the opposite sex, but that moment Ellie was more than enough for me. Moreover, I couldn't even say anything certain about Kagome. To some extent I was sympathizing with her for sharing a common misfortune. On the other hand, her personality wasn't easy to deal with. But did I like her as a girl? When after a full course of 3 dishes you'd offer dessert, it's hard to remain objective. I had to put the Kagome question away until better times and first deal with Ellie. Oh, hi. Ishida and Tokyo Rider were standing outside the studio. Hey guys. As soon as they saw me, the expressions grew grim. Nick, you came. Ishida seemed surprised. Well, yeah, of course, we have rehearsal today. Yes, about that. He looked away apologetically. Cool, Hiyori. I'm not sure what you're trying to say right now, I don't know, I'd start from the beginning, what's going on? Elle said we're going to get a new bass player. Another one? Tokyo Rider remarked with a dumb grin. What? Nick, we're sorry. Is this a joke? I could not believe I was really hearing that from him. We literally just found out a second ago. And you didn't say anything to her? What could we say? Ishida exclaimed. You know that the entire band is built around Elle, and if not for her, at least let me talk to her. She doesn't want to talk with you. Why don't you let me and her sort that out? I took a step forward, but they moved to block my way. Yeah, that wouldn't be a fair fight. What, if I try to pass, we'll fight? I don't need an editor, Hiyori. I don't need one at the moment. Thank you, though. Appreciate, but I'm good for now. I smirked unsurely. Nick, don't push it. Damn, and I thought we were friends. It's not our decision. But you should have an opinion, shouldn't you? Do you really agree with this? We know not what's on the young maiden's mind. Nick, I tried to talk to her, and she didn't explain anything. And you're fine with that? No, but what else do you expect me to do? I was trying to see any way to get past them to the doors of the studio, but quickly realized it was a bad idea. Why are you protecting her like this? You aren't her bodyguards. She asked us not to let you in. And what if she asks you to throw a man into Tokyo Bay? Tokyo Rider only smirked idiotically again in response. Guys, really? Sorry, Nick. Ishida said in a firmer tone, and I'd realized there was nothing else I could do here. And who's the new bass player? An old guy. He isn't old. He's in his early 30s, maybe. But he's a virtuoso. Right, can argue with that. A virtuoso, huh? You can quickly replace the guitar by buying a new one at a music shop. But I hadn't heard anything about a store that sells bass players in Tokyo. We were surprised too. No idea where Ellie found someone like him. It was hard for me to understand and accept the reasons behind their actions, but it was foolish to blame the guys. Uh-oh, yeah. There's kind of a big uh-oh here going on. Hello, Heart. Welcome to the stream. How you doing today? Welcome to possibly, maybe, the ending of this game. Maybe. Not sure yet. But yeah, how are you doing? Who was I and who was Ellie to them? Not good. What's going on? Talk to me. Besides, I couldn't forget about the Japanese mindset. The decisions of your superiors are indisputable, even if they seem strange. Never thought it'd end like this. Don't get so down. Maybe she'll change her mind tomorrow. Right, sure. I know that she can only act on emotion sometimes. Do you believe that yourself? She'd just averted his gaze, embarrassed. What came over her? Well, you should know better. In terms of music, we had no problems with you. In terms of music. I repeated, miffed. So if Ellie kicked me out of the band, our relationship was over too? What about the rest? Maybe you could let me pass after all? I need to talk to her. Sorry, Nick. She just stuck to his guns. You two would be better off talking tomorrow at school. Sure, if she shows up. Why not drop by her place when she cools down a bit? By her place? The mere thought that I could come face to face with Kobayashi Jun again terrified me. We'll see. Well then. Turned around and walked away from the studio that had already begun to become a second home to me. I think that went well, guys. Yeah, not all of Ellie's actions seemed logical to me, and we weren't always on the same page, but this time she'd outdone herself. After all, if you want to break up with me, look at me in the eye and say it. I know, right? Look me in the eyes. Not the flies? I don't know. Alright, all the reason the eyes. I felt irritation, anger, self-pity, and for some reason, shame. It's shame! No, it's shame now. As if something irrevocably had happened because of me. Catherine had already ditched me once, and Mitsu has left as well, but this feeling was completely different. How are you since you know I'm not feeling good today because of something? I'm doing good. My goal today is to finish this game, so I'm getting pumped, getting to the ending. The big grand ending. But what's going on with you though, Heart? Wasn't complete devastation, but rather anger at myself for having done something wrong. But what? What about me scolding Ellie for taking drugs? Was it about Iwamura? Or not showing my love clearly enough? All those reasons could probably be a cause for a breakup, but they wouldn't be enough for such a reaction. It's a long story. Do you want to tell me when I'm not reading a visual novel or later on? Or through Discord, or if it's a private thing. I'll leave it to you, my friend. Ellie acted like a cruel child ripping off the legs of harmless bugs. I was angry at her, at myself, and at the entire world, as if I was left completely alone. I was angry at Ishida and Tokyo Rider for their cowardice. I was angry at Himitsu for choosing such a bad moment to go away and leave me with no shoulder to cry on. Alrighty, no problem, Heart. I was even angry at Kyosuke for his inability to be serious, which gave me no way to talk to him about what happened. A cold, really winter wind blew and I shivered. Heavy clouds were approaching from the east, promising a long rain. I had to hurry home. But still, we were going to study together for several more months. Even if I wasn't about to visit her at the mansion, we were going to have more than enough chances to talk. That thought immediately cheered me up. It's bringing me seemingly exhausting lights of hope. Alright, I gotcha, Heart. I'm reading it to myself super fast. Your messages. So, did I want to be together or not? Excuse me. A black foreign car was parked next to my house, and I immediately knew what would follow. Excuse me. I slowly approached it, the driver's door opened, and Kagemaru stepped out, but he paid no attention to me and just froze in place. Uh-oh. That's trouble. The back door window opened, and I saw Kobayashi Jun in the flesh. Nikolai, would you spare me half an hour of your time? If he took the effort to arrive personally, there had to be a strong reason. Tensely swallowed and replied, Of course! Of course! We entered the house. Kagemaru remained outside. Please take a seat. I pointed at the chair next to the kitchen table. A kid came up to me and said, slap me. The kid who gave the middle finger said bad words like that. That's a lie. What? A kid came up to you and said slap me. Sounds like a very immature kid is in your class. Or in your wherever you were at the time, Heart. Well, we might be screwed. Yeah, a little bit. Thank you. He smiled politely and sat down. I took the seat across from him. Nikolai, Elizabeth was very upset yesterday, and I had to have a serious conversation with her. I assumed you know what this is all about. I slapped him very slowly, used your IQ, but he slapped you strongly. That's a thing you don't do, just don't strike at a person. Even if he's like a weirdo, then your friend was annoying you. Sounds like a rough day. Heart. Wait. He raised his hand in warning. I don't want to scare you, I just want to talk. Elizabeth told me that you got your eye on another girl at school. Kobayashi-sama, that's not the case at all. Ellie misunderstood. Figured all also that? Alrighty. I explained but stopped myself, having noticed the stern expression on his face. I have absolutely no interest in meddling in your teenage affairs. I don't know if you'll believe it, but I too was young once and made mistakes. However, there are mistakes, and there are mistakes. What? There are mistakes, and there are mistakes. That's a good sentence. I understand. I'm glad. At some point in time, I thought that you might be a positive influence on Elizabeth, but apparently her interest in you that wasn't that serious. At least you figured it out. Good. I'm glad you figured it out, Heart. Kobayashi-sama. I exhaled powerlessly, not knowing what to say next. It sounded as if I were listening to my own death sentence. But it's not your fault. Perhaps you indeed had serious intentions in regard to my granddaughter. Told your friend to stop screaming. Why's your friend screaming? Eee, like that. Of course they were serious. Did you know that when she was 10, Elizabeth really wanted to become a jockey? Spend all her time at the stables? No, I didn't. Horses, music, tomorrow it will be something else. I meant to say that the most important thing for me is that Elizabeth doesn't stray from the right course. Oh, you screamed. But it's fine if she drifts one direction or another along the way. And on that way you have become a brief stop. Do you understand, Nikolai? What could I say? I still couldn't quite let go of the feeling that Kagimaru was about to barge into the kitchen and snap my neck. Meanwhile, deep inside I started to feeling the bitterness of loss. And even though just recently it seemed to me that it had been different with Catherine, the pain was just as strong. Maybe before the talk with Kobayashi-jun, I believed that I could still fix everything. And Ellie would calm down and come to her senses? You have 1k points? Cool. He slapped you. Why are people slapping peoples? What happened, Heart? Kobayashi-sama, I really do love Ellie. The old man gave me that condescending smile that was clearly saying, everything passes and so will this. You're still young, Nikolai. You have your entire life ahead of you. New friends and new love, and your own children who will repeat your mistakes. Kinda cried. Uh-oh. The class always came to mock you. What kind of grade are you in, by the way? Where kids are acting like that. That stinks. Well, you got friends here. 4th grade? So you're super young then. Nice. But, yeah. At least you got friends here, my friend. I'm just a calm kid who wants peace. Well, enjoy elementary school while you got it. It's gonna be weird. But, enjoy being more mature than the other fools. How could I counter that? Shout that I love Ellie, that I'm ready to die for her, and throw a glove at him? You're a rational man, Nikolai. I'm absolutely flattered to hear that from you. But, thanks there, idiots, lol. Yeah, normally kids are, but you grow and mature with age and you get good. And if you don't get good, then you play Fortnite all day. Like I do. I mean, like some people do. Was I really about to argue with the most powerful man in Japan? Don't you think it's a little premature to call it over after only a day? Lovers fight sometimes, it's normal. What most part you will in Marvel movies? Can you rephrase that question, Hiyori? My opinion on what most part you will in Marvel's movies. What do you mean by that? What are you saying? Lovers fight, it's normal. Seems that Elizabeth had already found a replacement for you in the band, hasn't she? Yes, with a completely still face, as if he knew in advance that everything I was going to say. You got your hand in this too? Don't forget yourself, Nikolai. The old man frowned for the first time during our conversation. I'm doing what is best for Elizabeth. When she shows up, she'll thank me. How old are you anyways, as you already know mine? I am... If you put a 3 and a 3 next to each other, you get that in a number. I know. My opinion on the type of movies? They're fun. These days, maybe less funnish, but... yeah, fun. I like them. 33. Yep, I know, right? It's true. Used to be young, then you must understand me. It's simple. I've been in your shoes, but you've not been in mine. Nobody's arguing. Mumbled and fidgeted in this chair. It's becoming unbearable to keep sitting still. I didn't dare stand up and walk around the kitchen in his presence. But have you thought of what would happen if... Looked Kobayashi-jun right in the eye, and for a moment, it seemed to me that I saw a sign of worry on his face. If Ellie changes her mind and decided to be with me again... He scratched his beard with a sharp gesture. People rarely take old toys out of the closet. After they've grown bored with them. Yes, but we're talking about people, not toys. It's all relative, Nikolai. I couldn't help but admire that Ellie had inherited something in her character from this soulless old man, but I didn't want to think that with age she'd become more and more like your grandfather. I'm glad, Heart Dude. I'm glad that you can consider me friend. And I am too. So that's it? I finally gave up. What else is there? Will you allow me to just keep living my life? I personally I've had no quarrel with you. Kobayashi Jun smirked malevolently. It seemed like only half of the sentence he wanted to say, but the rest never followed. Even Mafia too. I don't think Mafia's that old. I think she's not. She's the opposite. You made Ellie you put in the Discord? Ooh, that means you drew everyone now, Angel. Awesome. Alright, I gotta read this, guys. We gotta get through this game. Let's get through it, alright? Now, if you understand it all, Nikolai. He stood up with some effort and looked around. You have a nice house, a pity about your parents. Thank you. Thank you. Bye. You drew everyone. Give me a second, lads. Give me a second. Okay, I saw the old man into the car and Long kept standing in the yard, thinking about what just happened. To some extent, the actions of Ellie's grandfather seemed just as chaotic and senseless as Ellie's antics. First, he was asking me to keep an eye on her and keep her out of trouble. Then he was personally informing me that it was all over between us. Perhaps there was more of a human in that wise and cruel, gray-haired man than we met. He was talking about the mistakes of youth, but he wasn't committing to the exact same ones in his old age. By not letting his granddaughter gain her own experience, even if it was always positive, you can hardly raise a good person by keeping them in a gilded cage their entire life. Sounds good, Hart. Hopefully my reading will be good. But in my head, all these concepts sounded like emotionless numbers on the page of a scientific report. Hopefully there was no feelings, emotions, or soul to them. Meanwhile, I lost a girl I had been planning to build a future with, and what did it matter whether Nikolai Anokin, the drugs, Ellie herself, or her grandfather were to blame for it? I sat down on the porch and got lost in my thoughts. I felt tension in my chest, and it suddenly became hard to breathe. BRB, okay, I'll see you soon. Ellie's laugh face clearly appeared before my eyes. If only she weren't a Kobayashi. I threw away all these ifs along with my fear and other conformities. I suddenly realized how much I missed her. Irina had appeared in my life suddenly and disappeared just as quickly. Kobayashi Jun did nothing to me in the end, but that whole time I kept being afraid. Was that fear the reason why I lost Ellie? If I'd been more self-assured, I'd been showing my feelings more obviously. Could everything have been different? The problem was exactly that I couldn't understand what my feelings were, but at this moment, thinking about Ellie was making sobs well up in my throat. Nico-san? Kagome was standing at the gate and looked at me attentively. God, you again. I sighed in desperation, but noticed with surprise that I wasn't that angry about her yet another accidental visit. Let me guess, you were just passing by? Come on, Nico-san, you're a smart guy. Of course I was following you. Hi? She came closer and virtually hung over me. And how much did you see? How much did I see? She repeated as if not understanding the question. I saw a person who looked like Kobayashi Jun walk out of your house, get in a car, and leave. Did you have a fight with Kobayashi-san? Why do you think that? Why would her grandfather spend his time on you otherwise? Kagome grinned. Thanks for the kind words. Nico-san, I'm just telling the truth, while you apparently prefer to hide in your fantasy world. I'm not going to argue with you. Don't you understand that you and Kobayashi could never work? What are you, a cupid, to judge us? I wanted to get really angry at you, Amura. But I either lacked the energy or simply agreed with her deep inside. It's always easier to see things from outside. So what did you see? You two don't match each other. She exclaimed as if telling me an obvious truth. And why is that? First, because she's a Kobayashi and you're an ordinary person. I don't mean to say that being ordinary is bad, not at all. Hi! Hello. Heart's little bro, I assume you are. What's up? But in 5-10 years, her destiny will be the one that maybe one of a million, even a billion people may have. Can you imagine yourself next to her when she takes her place at the head of Kobayashi Corporation? Not plan that far ahead. I muttered in response, at the same time knowing perfectly well that I couldn't. But why do you think that Ellie would necessarily follow in her grandfather's steps? She wanted to play music. Do you even believe that yourself? Kagome laughed loudly and moved her face even closer to mine. Nico-san, I want to help you avoid deep disappointment in the future. Don't say your last name, Jack. Heart dudes, bro. Never, ever, ever say your last name. It's never a good idea. But welcome. I hope you're doing good. Have you thought that he might be right? That weird unity of Kagome and Kobayashi Jun's options was not only surprising but also terrifying. Yeah, just Jack will do. How you doing though? Good to see ya. Either way, it's none of your business. Haven't you realized yet, Nico-san? I knew what she was about to say next, but didn't want to hear it. Was I afraid, or was the reason more complex? This won't be a problem with me. You're fine? Heck yeah. That's what we want to hear. You're fine. You're good. Iwamura-san, why so formal? Kagome, this isn't appropriate right now. I'm doing good. I'm gonna beat this game today. I'm gonna do it. We're gonna beat it. After 10,000 streams, we're gonna do it. Okay, maybe 17, but still. Moreover, I was enjoying the girl's attention, even if it was the wrong moment for it. But I just can't stop loving you. Love is a very big word, don't you think? Good to hear. Yeah, good to hears. It is what it is. She suddenly frowned but immediately caught herself and smiled again. You can't control the whims of your heart. Ah ha ha, right, sure. I mumbled. You said the last name again. Don't do that, you silly. But, pretty cool. A month wasn't even enough for me to finally figure out which I was feeling toward Ellie, and I definitely couldn't expect much such speed from Kagome, considering her personality. You love Kobayashi, so why refuse me the right to love you? Yeah, just be careful, Hearts bro. There's a lot of creeps out there who would, could find you based on your last name. So just be careful, alright? Very, very careful. Not refusing anyone anything. Iwamura's words sounded very pretty, and in a different situation I would have thrown myself into her embrace without hesitation. But weren't these advances exactly the reason for Ellie's jealousy? Hey Mafia babe, if there's a clear chat option, can you do exclamation point to clear chat or something? Just to get that last name off. Oh bye, I'll see you soon. Hopefully. Fare thee well. Just wanted to spend more time with you, and if something so small was enough for Kobayashi, you should wonder if she ever loved you for real. Yeah, bye-bye, I'll see ya, she responded innocently. Indeed, there was undeniable logic to Kagome's words, but such wasn't Ellie's personality. Rises and falls, pleasures and eclipses, cries and silence, but major and minor. I'll see ya. Maybe one day you'll be a Twitch streamer when you're older. Hello, older heart. Or the heart. It went good. Don't look at her, Nico-san. Look only at me. Kagome raised my head so that our eyes met. The passion on her beautiful face looked genuine. Was she always that beautiful and I just never noticed? Besides, everything was over between me and Ellie. If just an hour ago there had still been some hope, it became crystal clear that after the conversation with Kobayashi Jun, besides, Kagome looked like a much simpler option than Ellie. Was scolding myself for showing weakness and cowardice. But at the same time, I couldn't feel the strength to refuse her beckoning lips. Did he tell you my name and his name? Yes. And so we kissed. Guys, we did it! Mafia babe, look! We did it! We finally kissed. Wait, whose route is this again? Oh, this is Ellie's route. Oh, we're kissing the wrong girl. Oh, man. It's okay, Heart. I'm not good at remembering names, so I'll just remember, your name. I'll just remember Heart. And so we kissed. She was a bit awkward by it, at the lack of experience with enthusiasm. Just yesterday I'd been kissing one girl and today another. I guess many would disapprove of such behavior, but I was tired of stepping on the same rakes over and over again. First Catherine, then Ellie, and even Himitsu. Why did I have to be running after them and immediately refused someone who ran after me? Finally, Kagome pulled away from me. Well, feeling better? Maybe. And still, looking at her, I was trying to notice the smallest sign of deceit. Do you think I'm not being sincere with you, Nico-san? Yeah, the thought did cross my mind. Then let's go inside, and I'll prove my true intentions. Oh no. Oh dear. Are you trying to bind me with syrup? She got embarrassed, clearly not expecting such an answer. It might be a casual thing for you, but I never had anything like this. Well, having made the first step, it would be silly to retreat now. Please be gentle. Welcome back. She whispered in a languid voice, and I immediately realized that I had gone too far already and could no longer stop, like a minecart from an Indiana Jones movie flying into the abyss. You know, do 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 do. You know that song, guys? Do 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 do. Hope you understand what you're doing. We are doing. Kagome smiled and reached out for me. This was a prank. What was a prank? Do you not have a younger brother? Were you messin'? Was your last name fake even? Remember what I told you? I barely remember what I did like a second ago. You silly boy. Very, very silly though. That's how my career of a rock musician ended before it even began, together with my relationship with Ellie. I was sad, I felt the loss, but at the same time I was trying to comfort myself thinking that, in the end, nothing depended on me. Even the names were fake. Clever. And with Kagome by my side, doing so was a bit easier. I was persuading myself that I couldn't oppose Kobayashi-jun. In the end, money defeated both love and rock and roll. Love? Money? Rock and roll? I think that's close enough for a roll credits moment. Now what? What happened? Loading. XXXX. Oh no. Well, here we go. A long text. Oh boy. Ellie changed her mind. Enjoy the ride. Too cute. Oh boy. More reserved. It says the thing. It says the thing. It did. Kind of. Kyosuke traded. Hide my breakup. Considering she stopped going to school. Ellie transferred to another school. None of her classmates saw her, including Takehito. Dropped by the Z Feel Z studio. Ellie was alright. Take a break. Hit the brakes from the very beginning. My place. Oh dear. Oh no. Oh dear. This is your Japanese name? Ooh, it looks cool. I can't read that sadly because I don't know Japanese. In fact, I barely know English, but it looks cool. I likes it. Didn't go on dates. Wow. She wasn't doing anything extraordinary. We didn't start fights. Cooked her. Cooking was not good. He got bored. One of those people. Break. Gomi provided exactly that. I was sitting in the kitchen watching my new girlfriend cook breakfast. One of the rare nights we spent together had just ended, and this morning started Kagome's day off from the restaurant. Don't you want to go somewhere together? Where? She drew her eyes away from the stove and looked at me with surprise. Well, I don't know. Kyosuke mentioned there's an entry discount for couples today at the amusement park. That's a great idea, Nico-san, but I still have a lot of homework to do. Want to prepare for the test. Right, the test. Would be a good idea for you, too. You going to enroll somewhere after school? Of course. I was expecting the question, and you aren't. But it didn't follow. Where? The economics faculty at Todai. Todai? Exclaimed louder than I wanted. What's wrong with it? Nothing, just the girl had ambition. Of course I knew that Kagome was an excellent student, but there are many excellent students and only one Todai. On the other hand, the entrance exams are the same for everyone. If you pass, you get in. Same for everyone, except not. I couldn't imagine Ellie not making it in, even if she didn't show up for exams at all. Although her grandfather would probably send her to study abroad. And then I was remembering Ellie again. Should have forgotten already. Everything was over between us, and it could very well be that we'd never see each other again. What are we talking about, Nico-san? Imagining how I might meet Kobayashi there? It's like she was reading my mind. Yes, I mean no. Don't worry, even if I study at Todai and you don't, we'll still be together. That's a relief, I said without much enthusiasm, but Kagome didn't react in any way. So are you sure you don't want to go anywhere today? It's not me, it's not that I don't want to, Nico-san. You to go eat your favorite outcooked food? What's that? What's your outcooked food? Hot dogs? Is it hot dogs? She finally finished cooking and put some fried rice with vegetables on my plate. See you tomorrow. Bye! See you tomorrow or later today. Not hot dogs? Darn it. What is it? It was a bit too heavy a dish for breakfast, but I refrained from any comments. They just don't accept slackers at Todai. Right, now that I was aiming for it in the first place. Didn't say anything again, although I really wanted to hear something from her, even if it was a snide, sarcastic remark. Everything alright at home? Why do you ask? I don't know, maybe because your father was kidnapped recently? Yes, Dad is doing well. She replied casually like we were talking about something absolutely trivial. And how are things at the restaurant? Kebab, Karachi chicken, koki bashir. Ooh, nice. All is in Pakistan. That's pretty cool. Well, enjoy your meal. Your delicious kebab meal. And I'll see you soon. The whole time we were together, Kagome never invited me to her place. Everything's fine. Thanks. Fine is fine. I sighed and started eating. Days passed after day. Mitsu had come back to life. I feel Kagome was in... Oh, dear. Roommates in a good relationship, lacking the money. As soon as they found the money, they'd split. Or maybe that's how Kagome saw it. Losing her and being left completely alone. And a relationship at school. She wasn't happy. I was calm. Others began to steer clear of me. Oh, no. You'll enjoy it. I'll see you later. Be good. Take care. Felt like longer continued. Gradually, my world started to fix. Kyosuke wasn't offended. Michael was never outgoing. The rest of the guys avoided me. Didn't bother Kagome at all. One time we were having lunch on the roof. I was enjoying the bento she'd made. Listen, do you ever get lonely? Lonely? Well, I mean, because the others avoid you. I'll see you later. I wanted to find a more natural expression, but couldn't. Nico-san, are you worried that they're avoiding you now? She looked at me attentively and smiled. Yeah, the thought did cross my mind. But you have me. She moved closer and wrapped herself around my arm, and I'm happy about that, sure. But it doesn't seem like you are. It's just, never mind, forget it. So much has happened recently, but it's all over now. It is. If a meteorite falls on your head, what's the probability that a second one will follow? Still, your biggest fear will be that another rock from the sky will finish the world of its brother. So I couldn't shake the feeling that nothing was over yet. Are you that afraid that Kobayashi will take revenge on you? At first I didn't even get the question. You have a boyfriend? Ooh, cool, Hiyori. I hope he's nice to you. He better be. Or I'm gonna. Do what? I don't know. But, I hope he's good to you. Take revenge on me? Why? Well, I don't know why these Ojo-samas have on their minds. Of course, I was afraid of Ellie's revenge. Her grandfather was a different matter, but that issue seemed to have resolved as well. Two of you are at war. A class one, you could say. Gomi scoffed and returned to her bento. And you, Nico-san, after what Kobayashi has done to you, change your opinion about her? Anger or resentment inside me, yet I couldn't. Ellie's guilt at loss. Why would I blame myself for what happened? When people break up, it happens. But you two didn't. She just ditched you. Ditched me. Nico-san! A genuine irritation on her face. What do you want from me? To get revenge on her? That's not a bad idea. Come on, I need to move on. You said it yourself. Did I? You did. Or could have. Yeah, I guess. Alright. This conversation seriously started to get on my nerves. Closed the box with the finish and stood up. Was delicious as always. Thank you. I'm glad. Smiled cutely, stood up and kissed me in the cheek. Let's go back to class. Uh-huh. Can you run away from yourself? Race continues. Wrong relationship. Better. Pass. Used to my new life. Fade. Just anything. Intact. My bank account. And a girlfriend. Another day was going according to the schedule. The classes were over. Kagome was busy with the restaurant. I walked out of school, got to just some leisure time. Absolutely someone I had not expected to see. Tokyo Rider! Give me a second, guys. I'm going to check something real quick. Ha 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 ha. Don't mind me. Okay. Sounds good, mate. Sounds good. Tokyo Rider! Yo, he noticed me and waved his hand. What do I owe the honor? It's about Elle. What about her? Oh, we got a concert today. Elle's doing real bad. Doing real bad? Getting worse lately. Getting worse? Be more specific. She's not an old woman. Speaking began to irritate me. Better see for yourself. Elle should be at the club in an hour, maybe an hour and a half. Don't think she'd be too happy. Wouldn't normally ask. Just what happened now? Oh, she's fond of certain substances, right? Let's say I do. Grew alarmed. Been like, we're not sure she can get through the concert. What can you do to help? She's not a doctor. What's from behind his glasses? It was my job to warn you. With that, I bid my farewell. Sports car. 5-stream streak. Nice. Well done. Gosh, she's always best supervisor. Cut all ties with me. What was that? Jumped and turned around. Don't scare me like that. Standing in front of me. Thought you'd left already. Something to do with the staff room. I see. Who was that? Lie about her now. Did Kagome new Tokyo Rider? Unlikely. What Ellie in the past? Sighed heavily and said, used to play together in Z Feel Z. What did he want? Talk to Ellie. Talk to her about what? Nothing much. Interested, unfaded. Nico-san frowned. Having a problem with their music. Thinks I can help. That's it? Yes, what else? What are you going to do? Nothing. Don't see how I can help in their situation. Just squinted, lying. That's the right decision. Glad you understand this. Had to specify what this was. Need to help her grandpa at the restaurant. Bye. Took a while longer. Turned out that was stupid to imagine that Ellie disappeared from my life for good. Hired from Tokyo Rider. Things were not bad. What can I do in this situation? Ellie, listen to me now. Memories of the past made my head spin. We still together. Was it important that we broke up? And Kagome? What about Kagome? Told me yourself she never ditched me. Afraid to talk to anyone. Did I want to see Ellie? My head shrunk a bit. Came home, walked to the kitchen, sat on the chair. Memories of Ellie flooded into my mind. All the songs we played together. The angry expression on her beautiful face. This is a bad end, by the way. Just thought I would tell you guys, so I'm kind of skipping the dialogue a bit. Because it's a bad ending, who cares? Hey, Kamik! How you doing today? Welcome to the stream, it's good to see ya. Kind of a haze. Break it with Ellie. Accuse other people. Like, bad endings should not take this long. Immediately, Dowdy used to torture me. Ellie been demonstrating her love so desperately. Things could end up good till you lost it. How could I have been so blind? Persuaded myself that everything was fine. Ah! Boo, bad endings. I know, right? Apologize for my behavior. Tell Ellie I love her. Let her go with love first. Whatever. She'd understand. Kamik, you're first. You're the first one here. You did it. I'm so proud of you. You're the first. Gust of wind. All this at the right moment. Just a bit longer and... Hey, my bros. Sheeta and Tokyo Rider were standing at the entrance to the club. Caught my breath. It came after all. I ran. Nick. Sheeta started. Was Ellie okay? Got a bad feeling. She's in the dressing room. But you can. Tokyo Rider. There was a lot of time left before the concert. Knocked on the door of the dressing room. The bad feeling. Ellie, it's me, Nick. Silence again. Are you there? Open the door. Grab the handle. The door wasn't locked. And there... Oh, dear. Oh, no. Oh, dear. Ellie jumped to her and shook her by the shoulders. Ah, Nick, you came after all. Just whispering weakly. She'd offered to call you, but I said no, and you still came. Pretty big sachet lying next to her, and the powder was all over the sofa. God, here you go again. How much did you take? I don't know. I don't remember. I'll call it for someone. About to run for help, but Ellie grabbed by my leg of the pants. Rikan was barely holding on. Stay with me. It'll be all right. But, kneeled next to her. Perhaps it really wasn't all that bad. Last time she recovered pretty quickly. Ellie was breathing heavily and her skin extremely pale. Nick! She coughed heavily, seemed to pass out for a moment. No way, this won't do! Stood up and ran out the dressing room. Ambulance? Sheeta, call an ambulance. Ellie's not well. What happened? She's high again. Nick, are you sure? Yes, I am. Just effing call him already. Shouted at him and ran back into the club. Nick! Ellie's breath became hoarse and ragged. It's alright, doctors are on the way. Nick! He's caressing her hair all sticky with sweat. Am I going to die? No, you're not going to die. Wait, this is a bad ending. You might die. Because it's never been this bad. Should have thought that before you. I shouted but immediately scolded myself. I didn't mean it. Ellie, forgive me for everything. Shouldn't have done all that. I love you. I really love you. Forgive me for realizing it's so late. Hot tears ran down my cheeks. So happy you're here. Of course I'm here. Where else could I be? Grabbed her little palm and squeezed it tight, but Ellie didn't react at all. She was in a really bad condition. The girl seemed to be in kind of a half dream. Wasn't even sure she understood what was going on. Nick, I love you so much. I also love you very, very much. Even in this condition, Ellie was talking about love, then all that time, bursting into tears and buried my face in her blonde hair. Forgive me, please! What are you asking me that for? She was really audible. For not being around, for leaving you, for acting like a bastard, for betraying you. It doesn't matter, she uttered and had another coughing fit. We will go ride horses tomorrow, right? I managed to hold back a cry of desperation. When I grow up, I'll win all the races. I'll show you my favorite horse. His name is Peach. Ellie was whimpering, not knowing what to say, hear, or say anything. Teach you how to ride a horse. Ellie was delirious, and that's a bad sign. Christ, she could actually die. In half a minute to find her pulse. Her heart was beating quickly and irregularly. Ellie, sunshine, help is on the way. Do you want a drink? I looked around the dressing room with crazed eyes. Ellie? She went silent and apparently passed out. Ellie! When the person opened the bag, she got the powder and self-pity. Doctors could handle it, never forgive myself. Nick! She opened her eyes. Yes, sunshine, I'm here. Firmly squeezing her hand in mine. I don't want to leave, Mom and Dad. I'm not leaving, I swear. Don't leave me, please. I won't. I don't want to be alone. I'll never be alone anymore. Nick, I'm scared. How powerless I was, and that made the pain even worse. What if millions of years of evolution led to self-awareness if it meant things like this could happen? Happy monkey, stranger to sorrow, sitting in a branch in the African jungle. Don't be scared, I'm with you. What sounded like is a playing blah blah blah. Imprisoned with my own hand, losing connection with reality. Sorry, again, this is just a dead end. Who cares? Nick? She called out to me in the same weak voice. I mean, obviously she's gonna die, so we just gotta get through it. Ellie! Nick, I'm scared! Slam. People stormed in. I got to my feet. Ishida and Tokyo Rider. Like, let's go. There's nothing we can do. I knew I was right. My body moved like puppet. I ran out of energy and I fell in their hands. Ambulance was parked at the entrance to the club. Nick, are you okay? Ishida was waving his hands in front of my eyes. Nick! Pavement. Ishida and Tokyo Rider. Suyoshi joined us soon after. Ellie was carried out of the club, ran to the doctors. She was taken away. The guys from CVLZ. Where did all the hope disappear to? Everything can change. Future, choices I've made. Everything in the world depended on my actions. Had a Kagome. Thought disgusted me. Suffering. Kobayashi June. Heads could start flying. Nico-san? Oh, hi. Raised my head. The sun had started sitting behind the towers. That long? Nico-san, you want to go to Kobayashi? Know how to respond to her. Kagome looked somewhat weird. He been following me. Heard my voice outside. Finished early. Surprise you. Concert. Hatred in her eyes. What's to be expected from you sooner or later? You know what? Don't know what you're talking about. Got angry. Stupid jealousy. She was taken to the hospital. Demeanor softened. What happened to her? No reason. She's sick? Sick, let me guess. You believe she overdosed? How do you? And rasp out. Simple deduction. Nothing complicated. Before you say anything else, let me finish. She caught her breath. Got what she deserved, one way or another, even if personally. She knows nothing about his crimes. Children used to answer for their father's crimes. What the hell are you talking about? So exhausted. The clear malice and hatred in her words were scary. Not realize anything. Kobayashi got what she deserved. The strain made her face go red. Me? Yes, Nico-san, you. But you thanked me for... Scoffed. You understand what it means to be an outcast. What's your reaction? To understand what others she wanted to say. Why are you doing this? Why, Nico-san? Questioned some thought. Turned a relationship with Kobayashi. Still love me, Nico-san? Because I hate you. Aw, she hates me. Yay! Never imagined such cruelty. Like to watch me suffer. She bit her lip. It's your own fault. That moment I was simply unable to process her words. Everything that happened to Ellie overloaded in my brain. Does it matter? It's all over. Asked for some reason. She didn't reply. You're absolutely pathetic. I even felt sorry. Oh my god, this is a bad ending. Who cares? Ah! Skip! Skip, 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 skip. I don't care anymore. Holy crap, I don't care. Ellie died several days later. Aww. Dang. Did it on autopilot. I got the money. Near sleepless. I know. After 17 streams, Mafia babe, I finally snapped. Let's skip this shite and get to the end. The slums, the fact. Look, we had a bad life. We get it. We called Kyosuke. Nobody was following me. He hung up. He was right. I believe I left Tokyo. And the Vision's Born. Fantasies. I performed at whatever that is. Kobayashi Jun, England Gertrude stranded under his life and stepped back. He married Ellie, we had children. It was a dream I had, landlord pretended. Shapeless. Oh my god. Game. This is a bad ending. Who cares? Oh. Uh-oh. Place offered strongest drugs. Came in handy. Economics of death. Tattered sofa. The visual novel you're playing is not as bad as this. Well, this isn't bad either. It's just lengthy. And a bit long. What are you, which one are you reading? Whispered in my ear. Oh, it's Angel. It's Angel, Ellie. She was no longer. Ellie said something to me. She took my hand, moving her lips. Into heaven we go. Dark nights. Ooh, dark nights. A minute later, she was the size of a bird far away, and then we all died. Tunnel dispersed like clouds, my mind slowly returned, vision was real, border existed, devil, Ellie got follow, body convulse, different better world, what did I have to lose? To follow Ellie, no pain, eternal peace, we'd be together forever, I'm dead, to a flame. Ellie bad at number 2! Woo! Dark Knight, I'll have to check it out. Yeah, don't get me wrong, this has been pretty fun so far, this visual novel. Just very, very lengthy. Lots of unnecessary words are in this visual novel. Maybe shorten the bad endings a little bit. Because, you know, they're bad endings, not good ones. Okay. Yes, main menu, please. Well, that was a bad ending, guys. That was no good. Let's try again. Let's give this another shot, huh? I think we're out of the thick of it. Let's fast forward. Let's see. Give me a second. Save 9. Say she had nothing to do with it. You have nothing to do with it. Capable of doing something like that. Killing 8 people at once, you mean? Think I could handle that much? Do you want me to believe it? Why would I? I don't know. I didn't sit down on the bench. A few minutes of talking to her took as much energy as I'd imagine hours of blah 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 debates. We didn't care about them. You clearly weren't friends. People died students at our school. Alright, here we go. We can skip dialogue now, guys! Woo! Let's get some hype in chat for skipping dialogue. People. Do nothing. I'm gonna do nothing. Although they were just my assumptions, I imagine Kagomi's probable reaction, her perpetually annoyed face, and caustic remarks. Dig your own way out. When I arrived home, I got the sense that I came too early. It was like an elementary school. There was much to prepare, made some tea and several sandwiches, took freshly ironed by Himitsu's shirt out of the wardrobe. Last meeting had it ended the way I wanted to at all. Me too, I believe it could be nothing to do with Kobayashi Ellie. We're playing in the same band. Time passed slowly. Wait is long. Came to the rehearsal. Tokyo Rider. Hey! Notice me. I wanted to ask you for a while. What do you actually do in life? Tore himself away. I'm not dancing for the corporate tune, if that's what you mean. What can you really make a living playing music? Everything's possible. If you're lucky. Added slyly. Okay, this is all new dialogue. Reserve response, no matter what they said, our relationship was going good. Why so tense? No. But hesitantly, think about Kagome, done the right thing by leaving her alone with her problem, but not warning her. Waiting for L. The drummer chuckled. Mitsuyoshi. She lightly jabbed his side with his elbow. Didn't say anything. Ellie appeared in the studio right on time. Sorry, didn't really prepare. Ran into the room. Yesterday was a terrible day. Ellie looked at me fervently. Well, let's begin. Seeing the way she was playing and singing, didn't prepare. Extra day rehearsing. Several days we had to start over. Lost the rhythm. Nick, are you alright? Pretty stupid question. No, I wasn't. Try to keep calm on the outside. Just a bit nervous. Don't be. Look at me. I'm not nervous. Ah, yeah. Pretended like a mockery. Just her personality. Ability to instantly switch track. And jealousy. After about an hour, relax. One of the strings of my bass snapped. God damn it. I grit my teeth. Oh, sorry. Never checked the bass. No one played it for a while. Jumped at me. It's alright. I was stringing it, okay? Seemed to acknowledge it. Even the guitar. Okay, sorry again. Oh my god! For the love of God! Oh! They caught up with me after about half a minute. It's still new dialogue! I get it, it's cool! As soon as I came home, oh my god, it's still new dialogue! I just want this to be done already. Okay, the 24th. Yay, we did it. We made it to the 24th, lads. In my dream? Okay. We can skip some dialogue now. I just couldn't believe it. Wow. We're fast forwarding now. Think we're fine. Thought about how I could have warned her yesterday. I felt sick. Oh well. Oh hi, Irina. Hey, how you doing? Good to see you here. We love Irina, right? Everyone's favorite character ever. Ever, ever, ever. Heck yeah, heck yeah. Oh, I'm trying on a tuxedo. It'll be time for the ball. You like the balls? Oh, hi, Mitsu. I haven't seen you in years. Again, I just want to complete this game now. I want this game done today. I'm not ending stream until the game is done. Oh, hey, Catherine. What's up? See you later. I'm gonna save here real quick. I better save here. Just, you know what? Do it here. Drink, refuse. I'm going to refuse a drink. I do not want to get drunk. No, thank you. It's still against the law here for me to drink. Yeah, and what were you doing just now? Victor S. disappointingly audible in his voice. My cheeks burned red and I didn't reply. Victor, stop trying to turn the young man into a drunkard. My way to Ellie. Alright, let me save the game one more time. There we go. Wait, Ellie, I was starting to think you'd abandoned me here. I thought you would abandon me. Why would you abandon me at the ball? I'm gonna complete Irina's mission. This is the right decision, guys. No, Irina was more dangerous. By refusing, I risked not making it to tomorrow, but if I succeeded, there was a chance she'd keep her word. Now, all I had to do was not get caught. I learned the plan of the house by heart, but was still extremely nervous. Was it the second room on the left or the third? Second or third? There was almost no one at the stairs and balconies. I found the right moment and walked quickly up to the second floor without looking back. We're trying to find documents. The corridor seemed endless. Painting by Western artists hung on the walls. Luxurious carpet covered the floor. Different circumstances. Skip all the dialogue. I know, right? I should. Only purpose was to fulfill the mission. Opened the door to Kobayashi Jun's office and sneaked treacherously. Thank God nobody heard that. Spacious room behind the door with a huge oak table in the window and bookcases along the walls. Dashed to the table, randomly opened several drawers and went through the papers inside. Nothing in there apart from financial documents, reports, and other stuff meaningless to me. Strange logo was nowhere to be seen. Grown desperate when in the last drawer I came across a thick folder filled with papers. Opened it and saw the same logo. Took my camera out, started furiously taking shots. You know what I like? I like this dark void. It reminds me that the game is always just sucking me in and getting me into the story. That's my compliment of the game! Camera is clicking around half the folder. Said to myself. Uh-oh. What are you going to tell Ellie? Digging the grave left me completely exhausted. I was breathing heavily, sweating, my heart beating like crazy, my tuxedo, trousers, and white shirt all covered in dirt. Wait. Oh, there was around half the folder left to go. I confidently went to the exit when the door suddenly opened when two grim-looking men in black suits appeared in the doorway. But it no longer mattered. It is commendable you'd be able to think of someone other than yourself at this moment, Nikolai. The security guards had led me to the yard through the black door when Kobayashi-jun soon joined us. I was given a shovel and brought to the forest next to the estate. In that first second in the old man's office, I had a desperate thought to run, to jump out of the window, break the glass. But it only works in American films, and it was more likely to kill than save me. You understand I had no choice, right? I wasn't as much trying to delay the inevitable as unable to keep digging. Hands were shaking and refused to grip at the shovel. Irina Mostovaya was an information more than anything. I've heard a lot about this woman. It seems she can be quite persuasive. However, Nikolai, you must also realize that after what you've seen, I cannot just let you go. I haven't seen anything, I pleaded. I have no time to read anything. I just finished taking photos when your goons appeared. Unfortunately, we have no way to confirm your words. That's good enough reason to kill me. Think for yourself. If you return to Miss Mostovaya without the photos, you clearly won't be happy. And if she finds out you were caught and your camera was taken, I think she'd left with no choice either. As disgusting as it was to acknowledge it, he was right. And apparently I had no choice of making it out of this forest alive. The strangest thing was, I felt no primal fear or panic, just bitter disappointment with myself for not doing the right thing. You don't get angry at a tornado for destroying your house, you get angry at yourself for ignoring the evacuation order. And maybe for even building a house in that area. My parents, were you the one that killed him? Ran his hand through his beard and gave it a moment's thought. Parents were spies, Nikolai. They made their choice long before they reached Japanese soil. Spare me, what kind of spies could they possibly have been? Quite good ones, considering how many years they managed to work undercover and hide it from their own son. Didn't know how to reply to that. When I had only several minutes left to live, why would he lie? Everyone who knew except me. Kobayashi-jun knew, Irina knew, Ichinose knew. Remembered Mom and Dad could not believe it was true. In my memory, they were normal people, engineers. God, I always believed my dad built bridges. Kobayashi-san, I don't believe you. Could not believe what he was saying, but there was no point in my parents' guilt, no proof. Suffered for nothing in the Cold War. Well, that is your right. But why did you allow the son of Russian spies to mingle with your granddaughter? Because I knew you had nothing to do with their activities. Oh, really? Thanks for believing in me. My laugh quickly turned to intense coughing. Dig already. One of the security guards snapped. Almost there. Another one smirked. You know, Kobayashi-san, Ellie always defended you so fiercely. Said you weren't capable of murder. Elizabeth doesn't understand much about the world. She just really looked mature. Protector. All this in the tone. We thought that about Ellie if she wants. Russians don't understand our way of life. 10 years in Japan are more than enough to understand. You do, Nikolai, leave all your grudges behind and start your next cycle. Don't believe in a wheel of life or whatever you're talking about. Fine, say it in the words of whatever. Nikolai, you have nothing to be afraid of. Mockery of his words, in a different situation. I'll let him go. Like, we're dead, obviously. Obviously, we're dead here. I'm only 18, I'm a human being. Not a stock, you've either to kill people. Boss, I think it's deep enough already. And the guard shouted with irritation. Please, I beg of you. At least die like a man. I said with disgust. The last thing I heard was a clank of metal. Apparently someone had racked a gun. Yay! I was buried, guys. I was buried. What a great ending. I'm dead now. Mafia, babe, you said I would survive. Oh, wait, no, you didn't. You said I might die. Never mind. Ha 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 ha. Okay, here we go again. Let's do this right this time, guys. You know that complete Irina's mission? Let's not do that instead. Let's instead seek protection from Kobayashi-jun again. Alright, we are in the clear now. We are nearly done. Okay, here we go. Express trust. Yes, I responded without a second thought. I'm glad you're sincere with me. He smiled and gave me a pat on the back. He made me freeze, shrink away, and an electrical impulse shooting at my spine. Don't worry about a thing, I'll handle it. But these people will do you no harm. But Kobayashi-sama, with all due respect... With all due respect, fast forward! I kissed Ellie there. Yay! So can we find our happy end now? Can we live, maybe? That would be nice, right? Being alive and not dead. Wouldn't that be awesome? Alright, here we go. We are accepting. In for a penny. Let's go. Walked into the corridor, followed by the gaze of my classmates. Ta-da! Nice looking bag from behind her back and handed it to me. 2 luxurious bento boxes. Like to say I made them myself, but would be epic. It would. The taste of food does depend on how much love was put into cooking in it. That's always delicious. Not to worry about the specifics of my lunch's origin. Let's go to the cafeteria. Today's such a nice day. Let's eat outside. Isn't it cold? Not at all. In reality, I just didn't want to be the center of everyone's attention again. Kagome was there. Yeah, again, this is just... I don't care anymore, to be honest. My patience has reached its boiling point. If you want to read this yourself, go for it. Get the game yourself. Read it on your own. It's a fun game, but a rough game to stream. Yeah, but playful. Not there? Fair enough. Fair enough, fair enough, fair enough. Yay, we're back in the offices again. Awesome. Excuse me. So, did June kill my parents? He might have. That might have been a confession there. I don't know. So she's asking us to do drugs this time around. I accepted last time. Let's refuse this time. Let's not do drugs. Drugs are bad, okay? We're telling her no. Drugs are bad. Don't do it. Okay, come on. Come on. I got it. It's cool. Yep. Don't do drugs. Yep, don't do it. It's not good. Ever heard of the DARE program? It kills. Oh god, yeah. Let's. Oh god, please. Oh god. Oh my god. Taking her once yesterday. Take out of her pocket. Want some recovery juice? Not going anywhere. So she's asking me to do the drugs again. So let's once again refuse. Let's just not do it. You know? Let's just not do it. Just no. No. No bad stuff of any kind, right? Felt pretty bad and deeply regretted it. I'm just asking. Oh, hi Kagome, how you doing? You weren't very friendly with her yesterday. What else? We're going to do something in the end. I don't even need to read this. I read this already. I have this problem with like every visual novel I read. Aside from the Phoenix Wright games, just they tend to last just way too long. That's why I only stream like a visual novel like once every 2 years. Hey, Heart has returned. How you doing? We're nearing the end of this, Heart. We're like so close. We're like, we can see the ending. It's right there. We're playing in the band. We're having a good time. Ellie is having problems again. Oh, what a mess. We gotta deal with Ellie's addictions, guys. How was your meal? Was your meal good? Was it delicious? Thanks, Mafia. Hello. Hello. No music here. Hi, buddy. Hello, Kyosuke. Hey, teacher. It's the teacher guy, Mafia. Too bad he only appears for one scene. Like, hey, I'm the teacher. How you doing? Here's my shirt. Later. What's that? You want to see me again? Nah. You'll never see me again after this. Alright, we're with Kagome, the thing that started the whole fight in the first place, and here we go again. It's fine, Al. You love that guy, the teacher. There's gonna be a sequel to this game that's gonna star the teacher. Exciting, huh? Can't wait. Gotta go. I'll see you soon. Gotta study. Have fun studying. It's your favorite. You love studying, right? Oh, hi, Kagome. That's what I liked about her. That's why I was so drawn to her. Don't look at her, Nico-san. Look only at me. Raised my head so that our eyes met. The passion on her beautiful face. Image of Ellie. It's been a year and a half. I loved Ellie. I loved Ellie. Sorry. Sorry, but get out of here. Hang on. Give me a second. Give me a second, lads. I'm gonna skip the dialogue until a certain point. Bye, Kagome. Later. I'll see you later, heart. You be awesome, alright? Dark screen. XX day. Is it good XX day? Or bad XX day? Uh-huh. Autumn came into full power. Ellie continued to deny my existence, but was less and less successful with it every day. Alright, I'm gonna save the game one more time. I'm gonna save it on top of this one. Just in case I did something wrong. One day I was waiting for her at her classroom, and when she was about to enter, stood in the doorway, blocking it. Ellie stopped pouting and stared at an area around my chest with a kind of disappointment in her eyes, as if trying to burn a hole into it. She kept standing like that for a while, and then tried to squeeze through, which of course didn't work. Just want to have a simple conversation with you, that's it. She stubbornly avoided looking at me in the eyes. There's never been anything between me and Iwamura. Anoken-kun! Takahito's dreadful voice came from behind me. I turned around on reflex, and the instant was enough for Ellie to sneak under my arm. How long is this going to last? The anger in her eyes was mixed with disapproval, but there was no hatred or contempt in them. I don't want to appear rude, Takahito, but that's none of your business. It is, since you're violating school rules. Go on then, call the police. I scoffed, fixed her with a confident, unblinking glare, surprised at my own bravery. Our silent confrontation lasted for 10 seconds. Anoken-kun, if you don't stop, I'll be forced to tell the principal. Might as well tell the Emperor for all I care. Got interrupted by the bell and had to leave them for peace. Peace. Blah 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 blah. Don't care. Having successfully fended off Iwamura once again, I was sitting in Kyosuke's company during break, eating a bun I'd brought from the cafeteria. She just refuses to let you be. Who? Iwamura-san. Just don't start that whole thing again. About being something between us. Nick, I wasn't. He didn't finish the sentence, sighed, and opened his third, by now, bag of chips. Trying to fix my relationship with Ellie. But this attention from Iwamura is the last thing I need right now. If she were a guy, I'd punch her in the face, I'd swear. That's nice. Quiet, you. He hissed at me. Anyone else would be happy to be in your place. Are you suggesting I should get together with Iwamura? Not suggesting anything. He replied, angry, and leaned back in his chair. Good, because my radar is turned only to Ellie. Problem is, your radar is lacking in wavelength. I understand, but... Nick, have you ever thought that you two aren't meant to be together? I don't believe in fate. I'm talking about fate. Think of it as you being parts from different cars. So I'm from some old model and she's part of a new sports car, is that what you mean? How is that different from fate? Well, he sighed and lowered his head. As your friend, I wish you well. The path of least resistance isn't always the best one. Have it your way, but Kyosuke's words really made me think. Dialogue! Oh my god, dialogue! Oh my god! I kept running after Ellie. Ellie, wait! I just want to have a talk. Is that too much to ask? You're going to keep running away from me until the end of the school year? Ask Kyosuke. He can tell you that there is and was nothing between me and Iwamura, although he wasn't the most reliable witness, however you looked at it. I love only you. Ellie, please. Ellie, enough. This is just silly. You're acting like a child who didn't get her candy. What can I say for you to forgive me? Oh my gosh. Mafia, we're going through a lot of the school right now. We're going everywhere. Ellie, you haven't done anything wrong. If you only give me a chance to explain everything. None of my attempts brought any results, but the expression on Ellie's face softened little by little. It seemed to be getting more and more difficult for her to look away and ignore me. One day it would definitely have to end, except there wasn't much time left until graduation. And after that I wouldn't be able to see her as often, if ever. It seemed that there was a simple solution I just didn't have the smarts to come up with. Just a bit more time and everything would become clear to me. Pieces of the puzzle would fit together, and my broken happiness machine would start again. But not everything in life depends on our actions alone. Another school day passed by, having yielded no results. Ellie continued avoiding me and ignoring me any time we crossed paths, and if I were a hallucination that would disappear, she didn't pay attention to it. I have much to do besides my attempt to explain myself to her, so all my time after the end of the class blended together into an endless gray stream of without beginning or an end. I would come home, watch TV, read, make dinner, and sleep. Didn't talk to anyone, go anywhere, or even play any games. Didn't want to tidy up, iron my clothes, wash them, or do anything else housework related. Not that I used to be very diligent with that before, but now the very thought of cleaning up was painful. Moreover, my entire life started revolving around Ellie, as if everything else in the world stopped existing at all. I could only imagine life with her, or not at all. It seemed that we would either make up, or the universe would shrink to the state it used to be before the Big Bang, having realized how pointless its existence was without our love. Obviously, somewhere deep inside, I knew that my obsession wasn't normal, but I couldn't, and mostly didn't want to do anything about it. What's so bad about having feelings for someone? Yes, sometimes they can be excessive or even virtually crippling. At the same time, they bring so much happiness and euphoria when your loved one responds in kind. And while there was still any hope that Ellie would forgive me, walked out of the school with a firm intention to speak to and spend another pointless evening alone. Alright, give me a second, guys. No. Alone. But noticed Tokyo Rider at the gate. As soon as he saw me, he started waving his hands. I remember when I was a school kid. He came closer and he greeted me with some vague gesture, as if saluting me. That was like a couple years ago. He mysteriously flashed his dark glasses. To what do I owe the honor? I knew it probably wasn't a courtesy visit. We got a concert today, he said, and went silent as if that made everything clear. And, are you inviting me to drop by? I don't think Ellie would be happy about that. I am, in a sense, our new bass player. Hurt his hand and can't play. And how do you intend to perform with no bass? Elle hadn't decided yet, but she told us all to come to the club. I see, and you know the material. I felt a glimmer of hope spark in my heart. Maybe this was the lucky break I've been waiting for. But along with it, I felt piercing doubt. Whose idea was it to invite me? Mine, Ishida and Mitsuyoshi agreed. And Ellie? The situation was obviously difficult, but it was hard for me to imagine Ellie being excited about me as a possible solution, seeing how persistently she'd been avoiding me all this time. Elle doesn't know yet. She doesn't know? I smirked. So should we expect you? He asked, unperturbed. I don't know. At first glance, what was there to think about? But I felt like a shy accountant who had just been offered the position of vice president at his big company. Happy, sure, but with zero confidence that he'd be able to handle the job and afraid of the responsibility. Well, my job here is to make the offer. You still have a few hours to think. Elle will be happy, even if she doesn't realize it yet. Having said that, he turned around and headed for his car, parked on the other side of the street. Thank you! Shouted after him, and Tokyo Rider raised his hand without turning back to me, waving a farewell. The streets were particularly crowded today. I hurried home as if I'd simultaneously forgotten to turn off the iron, the stove, the gas, closed the doors and windows, and fed the dogs I didn't have. The meeting with Tokyo Rider had kicked my brain into high gear. I couldn't stop thinking of every possible way to take his offer could end in failure. Here was Ellie simply ignoring me. And here she was mockingly asking how I'd even thought about something like that. Oh, stretch. And I was getting beaten up by her guards, dragged out of the club, and left to bleed out in a dirty alley. Or maybe I was even running into Kobayashi Jun himself in the dressing room. Except what would he be doing there? The door turned out to be locked, the windows were closed, the gas was off. I walked back and forth from one corner of the kitchen to the other and couldn't decide what to do. Nothing stopped me from running after Ellie the entire day at school. When I finally got a chance to make her talk to me, all my determination suddenly evaporated. After all, she most likely had to say something if I were to offer to replace their bass player. He picked up the perfect time to hurt his hand. Tokyo Rider's mysterious grin appeared before my eyes. He couldn't have, could he? I was so agitated I couldn't sit still. The kitchen was too small for me. I walked into my bedroom and my gaze stopped on the bass. Oh, for F's sake. I could just offer my help as a friend. It didn't have to be about love. It wasn't even for Ellie. There were the other guys too. After all, she wasn't alone in Z Feel Z. All my doubts disappeared at once, and there was no thought in my mind but to appear on the stage as soon as possible with the guitar in my hands. I dashed into the hall, quickly put on my shoes, and ran out of the house. There seemed to be even fewer people on the street. I ran effortlessly and breathed regularly. The wind whistled in my ears, and my legs were full of pleasant strength. At one point, I started to feel like I was still standing still, the world around me flying by like a cityscape behind the train window. I could feel the confidence and determination in every cell of my body. This time I was going to do things right. Finally, the club appeared from around the corner. Tokyo Rider and Ishida were standing at the entrance. I ran to them and caught my breath. So you came after all? I ran. I barely exhaled. Nick, we were very grateful, no matter what. Ishida shook my hand firmly. Sure, no problem. We need to talk to Elle. She's been angry ever since she found out that our bassist won't be able to play. She locked herself up in the dressing room and isn't letting anyone in. Got it. There was no reason to rush anymore, so I slowly entered the club. Inside there were only a few other musicians idly sipping beers at the bar. Ellie, it's me! Sorry, again, just checking something. I do that a lot, huh? Always checking something. I'm seeing how much longer there is to this game on a walkthrough. I carefully knocked on the door of the dressing room. Ellie? I jerked on the door handle. Strangely, it wasn't locked. And she's normal! I stepped in and Alice saw Ellie standing in the middle of the room with an absent expression on her face. Hi! She didn't even look at me. The guy said that your new bass player hurt his hand. Wasn't I framing them? Although it was the truth, what was there to hide? Just wanted to help you. Help Z Feel Z. How are you going to perform without a bassist? Her persistence was worthy of a better cause. We don't have to talk. We'll just go on the stage, play, and then I'll leave. Ellie, I understand you're angry, but I admit that you have a reason to be upset with me. You're acting like a child at this point. Other people shouldn't have to suffer because of our relationship. She remained silent while I walked across the dressing room and noticed a sachet on the table. Sachet with powder. Pretty heavy one. I grabbed it and came closer to Ellie. So you're doing it again? She finally paid some attention to me. It's none of your business. Of course not. I scoffed sarcastically. Who asked you to come? We'll play without a bass. No big deal. We played with you before. It's not much difference. Thanks for the compliment. But from the tone of her voice, it was clear that Ellie just wanted to hurt me and didn't really believe what she saying. Why do you keep trying to get close to me? Go to your whore. She suddenly burst into tears. Here we go again. How many times do I have to repeat that there's nothing between me and Iwamura, and there never was? And why are you two always together? Why are we together? At school, during every break. Who told you that? Everyone saw it. Ellie got a bit embarrassed. Ah, everyone. I know. Finally, some progress. I flung my arms up in the air. Iwamura really wants something from me, but I don't know what. She talks about love. Ellie was about to start crying again. Would you wait a minute? I don't think that love has anything to do with it. Maybe she wants to tear us apart, avenge her father? Have you ever thought of that? But why? Something akin to a realizing flashed on her face for a moment. I don't know. She believes that her father had been kidnapped by Kobayashi Corporation. I said carefully, blaming some simulacrum instead of a specific person, her grandfather. Very convenient, Nick. Ellie frowned. What, is it my fault again? Maybe I kidnapped him? Caught chasing two rabbits. Really think I want to harem? We've been together not that long, but long enough for you to get to know me. At least I hope so. She lowered her eyes again like a puppy who had just made a mess. And if Iwamura really wants us to fight each other, she's been doing a great job, and you're helping her brilliantly. Anyway, I came here to help with the performance, not to start our relationship. I think I can stand with you on the stage if... Tears ran down her red cheeks, and in that moment, Ellie looked more beautiful than ever. If what? I don't know. I can't, Nick. When I see you with her... She choked on her sobs. Sunshine, you're the only one I love. When I looked at her in that instant, everything became clear. That if this wasn't fate, what then? Destiny or quantum determinism was a matter of terminology, but one way or another we were meant to meet and fall in love with each other. Would you really allow such a petty thing to destroy our love? Understand that I'm at fault here. At first I thought everything was going too fast. Guess it's because my old wounds hadn't fully recovered, and you wanted more from me. I wish I still had my doubts. Doubts about myself, forgive me. You've always been so confident and happy. Maybe somewhere deep inside I believed I wasn't worthy of you. But look confident now. Ellie smiled weakly. I don't know. I'm being torn apart by different feelings. One second I love you like mad, and the next, when I see you with her, I hate you. It shouldn't be like that, right? Maybe I'm crazy. I must be wrong in the head, right, Nick? She looked at me with hope in her eyes. No, you're fine. It's just that... I waved the sachet I was still holding in my hands. Never wanted to go as far as that. And this helps me relieve the stress, relax. For a moment, and then nothing. Grandpa will make me stop playing music anyway, and ditch you. You don't know that. He almost shouted. If we're together, do you even believe that yourself, Nick? Maybe yesterday you wouldn't have been able to answer this question, but now Ellie standing next to Ellie, I was sure it was bound to happen. And even if not, I prefer to try and know that I'd done my best rather than regret the missed opportunity and blame myself for my cowardice for the rest of my life. I believe that if we love each other, only we can decide our future. Nick, I want to believe you, interrupted her, exclaiming. Then do. In 5-10 years, we'll only have memories of this moment. What do you want them to be? Maybe Kyosuke was right. I couldn't imagine myself sitting next to Ellie in Kobayashi Jun's office, but I could absolutely picture us on a stage, shoulder to shoulder, on a stage bigger than the ones in the CD club. Nick, you keep saying these beautiful words no girl could resist. Is this how you seduced Iwamura? I didn't. Suddenly Ellie smiled. Relax, I'm joking. I always knew you'd love me, I just couldn't sort myself out. Aw, there we go. There's a happy smile, finally. At long last, right? Whoops. I still can't, to be honest, but you're right. We should give it a try. I don't want to regret not even trying to fight for something. Ellie! Very cute. You're back, Hiyori. Welcome back. Welcome to you. Welcome back. Let's do it after the concert. Now we have to focus on our performance. Otherwise, all this talk will have been for nothing. Alright, I'll tell the guys. But first... I stretched the sachet out to her. Ellie looked at it, hesitated for some time, but then took it, disappearing behind the toilet door. I heard the sound of flushing water. When she came back, she said confidently, I'm done with that. Yay! I'm glad. Go already. She flushed the bad powder in the toilet. Who the heck is this girl now? Ellie pushed me to the door and walked out of the dressing room after me. Seemed the most difficult part was over. The guys were waiting for us on the stage. Ishida was leaning on the wall, arms crossed over his chest, staring into space. Mitsuyoshi was pacing back and forth, occasionally glancing at the clock. Stretch! Meanwhile, Tokyo Rider was studying the variety of beers offered by a nearby vending machine, looking remarkably composed. When they saw Ellie and me, they froze and looked at us impatiently. I might say that you got yet another new bass player. Tried to make a joke, but Ellie immediately pinched me for that. Ouch! Thank God. She'd have breathed it out with relief. Just the circumstances. I had no other choice. Don't think that. Elle being herself. The guys laughed simultaneously. Alright. The band is back together, guys. Sorry, give me a second again. Okay. The ending really is in sight right now, lads. In a sense, today we moved up in the world. We were performing second to last. There was still tension in the air between me and Ellie, but now her emotions had cooled and she seemed to have given the situation a more sober appraisal. Of course, I shouldn't have expected everything to go back into how it used to be in an instant, and I didn't want that either. I wanted to grow up and move forward, not just indulge myself in juvenile infatuation. We walked onto the stage to face an audience already decidedly warmed up by the previous bands and alcohol. "Come on, rock it!" heard from the hall. Ellie confidently walked up to the microphone and shouted, "Hi everyone, we're Z Feel Z!" For these 20 minutes, every offense was forgotten. Ellie was focused on the music. In a sense, right now, music was her job. And she was doing her job like a professional, giving it her all. Every note, every chord sounded genuine and came straight from her heart. I compared Ellie to the other lead singers of the bands that had played before us, and she seemed so much more vivid and talented. To that point, I felt ashamed to be on the same stage as her. But neither Ashida nor Mitsuyoshi or Tokyo Rider were embarrassed in the slightest, even though they could be called natural-born musicians. Even if the band had a leader, we were playing together. Suddenly I realized that these thoughts had occupied my mind almost the entire first song. I was barely even looking at the bass. I had to make an effort not to forget my part, like that centipede that forgot how to walk. My second concert was working out better for me than my first. Something familiar always seems simpler, no matter how complicated it was initially. My fingers ran up and down the strings effortlessly, and the rhythmic vibrations of the strings running through my entire body felt as natural as my own pulse. Here came that part that I'd been having so much difficulty with, and there it went, played without a single stumble, even a little improvisation. The audience received us much better than the last time. It was hard for me to say whether it was because of our music or just the people in the audience, and the emotions of the crowd were transmitted to us, as if we were, like our instruments, were plugged into the electrical grid through which delight, joy, excitement, ecstasy, and passion flowed. Energy was overwhelming me. I jumped up as high as I could, bending my legs in the air. Sheena noticed and followed my lead the next time. People in the hall started to sing along, and soon the lonely voices became a unified choir. I joined Ellie during the choruses. "Thank you, you're the best!" shouted into the microphone, moving a strand of sweaty hair from her face. "And the next song is called..." I caught my breath and wiped my sweaty palms on my jeans. I glanced around and looked at Mitsuyoshi. He gave me a big smile, winked at me, and gave me the count for the next song. At that moment, I felt kind of absolute happiness. And it wasn't only about me making up with Ellie. Maybe for the first time in my life, I found something I really enjoyed doing. Not just in the physical sense of, like, food, alcohol, or sex. I was doing something other people liked. Got immediate feedback from the people gathered in the hall. I liked Z Feel Z's music, and I was a part of Z Feel Z. Maybe their new bass player's hand would heal soon and I'd be kicked out. That would be later. And now I felt an incredible sense of unity with the guys and Ellie. Shida was playing a solo, and I sneaked a peek at her. Ellie was beautiful, like a Scandinavian warrior maiden running into the heat of battle. Had a girl like that really chosen me? And moreover, had forgiven me after everything that happened? Suddenly remembered Catherine, what had been my fault back then. But she'd also ditched me without saying a word, flew 1,000 kilometers away, and when she came back, pretended like nothing had happened. But Ellie, tears welled up in my eyes, and I wanted to throw the bass away and run to Ellie and take her into my firm embrace. Luckily, there was only one song left. We left the stage accompanied by non-stop applause. We couldn't stay in the dressing room for too long. Headliners of the evening were preparing for their performance there. We walked out into the hall and were immediately swarmed by people. Some asked for autographs, others asking about future performances, and we were planning on recording an album. Of course, Ellie was the center of attention. Meanwhile, Ashida was particularly popular with the girls. The humble bass player had no place here. Besides, I desperately wanted to catch my breath somewhere more peaceful. Excused myself and carefully made my way through the crowd to the exit. The freezing evening air was pleasantly energizing, but I didn't feel cold. My entire body was on fire. The level of adrenaline was way beyond normal. Give me a second again, guys. Okay. We're getting there. My heart was beating and steam came out of my mouth like smoke from a chimney. I took several breaths, and looked up at the stairs. They were shining unusually bright. But today there was just one star I wanted to look at. "Nick, where did you run off to?" I turned around and saw Ellie as she approached me. Stopped, wrapped her arms around herself, shivering from the cold. It was a little too hot in there, so I wanted to get some fresh air. Thought so. I barely managed to sneak away myself. "Just don't tell me you don't like the attention. Just wanted to talk to you." For some reason, I grew embarrassed. The concert was great, went great. We played... like gods. I couldn't have hoped for better. "Yes, it went well," she said without any enthusiasm. "But Nick, while we were on stage, I realized something. I clearly imagined Ellie breaking up with me. This time for good. But we already..." Started timidly, but she interrupted me. "We need to talk to Grandpa if we want to be together. If we want to... keep playing music." All right, I breathed out with relief. So, you love me? Of course, I always have, she said simply. Did you ever doubt it? Yeah, occasionally. Ellie laughed and embraced me, pressing her entire body against mine. From now on, you'll never have to doubt me. Is that a promise? It is. I grabbed Ellie by the waist, lifted her, and gave her a passionate kiss. We said goodbye to the guys and started waiting for the car outside the club. You're sure this is a good idea? Nick! She stomped her foot. No, I'm not saying we shouldn't talk to him at all, but maybe tomorrow? What will change tomorrow? All right, nothing. I sighed in resignation. Soon a car stopped by us. A man in a black suit with a grim-looking face stepped out of it and gave Ellie a questioning look. He's coming with me today. No objections followed. The road there seemed unbelievably long, and we finally arrived. I felt like I'd spent a half a day unmoving in an uncomfortable position. Are you scared? Ellie asked with a smile on her face. She certainly had nothing to be scared about. It was her house. If I say I'm not, will there be a right answer? Let's go then. Dun, 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 dun. Once we reached the ballroom, Ellie stopped. Wait here, I'll call for Grandpa. She quickly ran up the stairs, leaving me alone. And if even my own home sometimes seemed too big and empty to me, how did Ellie feel here? Surely there had to be loyal servants waiting somewhere in the back rooms for their master to call them. But you didn't know that. The mansion seemed abandoned, even though there wasn't a single speck of dust anywhere, and even surface virtually sparkled. Luckily, the lights in the chandeliers under the ceiling shone brightly. Otherwise, I would have imagined ghosts roaming the endless dark halls of the house. It took at least 10 minutes, but I finally heard steps in the distance. Quick, light, springy, and after them, heavy and slow, but at the same time filled with confidence. Ellie appeared on the balcony first. Got bored without us. She waved at me happily. Walked up the stairs to them and politely bowed to Kobayashi Jun, trying to make a gesture that seemed too psychophatic. Nikolai. His voice sounded like he'd run into a particularly unlikable employee in the narrow corridor. Grandpa, we need to have a serious talk, Ellie said in a voice that left no room for objections. Even Kobayashi Jun himself obediently prepared to listen. Nick and I made up, but the first words didn't come easy to her, when the old man was quickly interjecting. Really? And here I thought you and Nikolai weren't together anymore, since he... The old man squinted cunningly, gave me a quick glance. Hope you haven't forgotten what you told me recently. It's all in the past. Your mood changes very quickly, Elizabeth. It's a bad habit. Maybe, but it's my habit. Ellie retaliated, crossing her arms over her chest and taking a wide stance. And so is playing music. Nick is going to play in our band again. Really? How was I the last to find out? Today's concert wasn't going to be just a one-time thing. Although that was undeniably good news. So the musician I'd found for you didn't fit the band? He played well, but it's our band, and I want Nick to play bass in it. I see. Anything else? Yes, briefly, without any malice. Else? Well, aren't you going to scold me? The old man looked at me and then back at Ellie. Was he not prepared to talk openly in my presence? If so, this kind of sensitivity looked a little petty, given the skill of Kobayashi Jun as a person. Elizabeth, I'm ready to discuss it with you another time. Why not now? Because Nick is here? You can talk in his presence. I don't have any secrets from him. She grinned, finding her grandfather's weak spot. Did he really not know what's been going on? I'd been running after Ellie for the past while, about the powder, even Tokyo Rider's visit. It was in his power to get rid of me when Ellie and I had just broken up. What was it? Sentimentality or complete blah 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 when it came to his family? Elizabeth, really think that? Said it was time for me to interfere. Kobayashi-sama, I know you might think I'm good for nothing, but I'll make every effort to make your granddaughter happy. Words, Nikolai, those are just words. They're worth no more than the air we're breathing. Do you believe that strumming of those guitars of yours is true happiness? Grandpa, Ellie exclaimed resentfully. And even if I wanted, I cannot approve of such. It's the end of the 20th century now, you know. You're going to force me into marrying one of your business partners who will be 30 years older than me. The old man frowned, and for an instant it seemed like he was finally ready to show Ellie her place. And instead, he just softly reprimanded her. Lived a long life, Elizabeth, and now I know how to avoid the mistakes that my parents made, you want to say? He froze and looked straight at her unblinkingly. And since you blame yourself for Mom's death, you decided to take it out on me. But lightning doesn't strike in the same place twice. Elizabeth, it's not a subject for discussion. The risk is too... Risk, Grandpa? Seriously? You are saying this? Weren't you taking risks when you were 18? Weren't risks required to create Kobayashi Corporation? I'm a different matter. He replied hesitantly. Really? And why is that? Well, because... This was seemingly the first time I'd seen Kobayashi Jun lost, at least to an extent, but I still couldn't get rid of the feeling that he was about to run out of patience and order his goons to bury me somewhere in the forest behind his house. You know, like that one ending. Maybe they had an entire cemetery there already. Grandpa, it's not fair to me. What if we become stars? Do you want me to succeed, even if it's going to be something else? I saw the same stubborn expression on the old man's face I'd sometimes notice on Ellie's, but the question was asked point blank. Even Kobayashi Jun, smooth tongue as he was, would find it hard to get out of this one. Elizabeth, I really think we should discuss this once you calm down a little. Good thing I managed to get into the club before Ellie had the time to snort anything earlier today. Wonder what her grandfather would have said then. No way, we're discussing this here and now. So a bit afraid to enter into their argument, the old man noticed that and apparently decided to use it. Nikolai, at least you should talk some sense into her. After all, you said that you're ready to make Elizabeth happy. But I think Ellie is right, Kobayashi-sama, I said firmly, despite trembling inside. She's not a child anymore. She can make decisions about her future herself, and bear responsibility for them. Responsibility? He smirked. So far all your mistakes have been corrected by us adults. Saying that, the old man for some reason kept looking at me. Kobayashi-sama, we're not living in a dystopia. Children grow up, some making mistakes on the way, but the majority become normal people. Normal, is it? But that's not enough for me that Elizabeth becomes normal. But you do want her to be happy, don't you? Yes, Grandpa, you do, right? Ellie frowned. Kobayashi Jun paused for a few moments and gave us a big smile and said, I can see that you have your heart set on it, but the conversation isn't over yet. Turned around pretending to leave, but suddenly stopped and said one more thing. When I was left alone with Ellie, she breathed a sigh of relief. Oof, that went way better than I expected. Oh, whoops, did I miss dialogue? Okay, guess not. Yeah, you think so? As I saw it, the old fox had simply decided to make a tactical retreat to then slowly wear us down. On the other hand, he wasn't obstructing our relationship in any way, at least for now, and maybe decided to wait for Ellie to change her mind again. Alright, give me a second again, guys. Give me a hot second. Okay. I didn't want to admit it, but her grandfather knew her way better than I did. Either way, it's all up to us now. Hey, Heart! Welcome back. We're almost done. I feel like we're really close now. I have to do something with my personality, too. Being a spoiled Ojo-sama isn't always a good thing. What, you're gonna say no? Ellie, you aren't like that at all? Well, if you think so yourself. Ellie looked at me for a while and trying to come up with a good reply, then suddenly, yawned. It's taking so long. I know. It is. Your grandpa wanted you to go to bed earlier. 9 minutes on the stream? Normally it goes on for 3 hours on visual novel days. It ends when the story ends. I smiled, but no buts. We just made peace with him. Do you want to screw everything up again? Fine. 8 minutes, a little longer than 8. She responded, not even sounding too disappointed. I'll ask the driver to take you home. That would be very convenient, but before that, I pulled her over and gave her a passionate kiss. We walked out to the street, immediately embraced by the chilling, piercing wind. Winter was coming. I shivered, which didn't escape Ellie's notice. Hold on, I'll be right back. She returned a couple minutes later with my jacket in her hands, the one I'd put around her shoulders that night on the square in the center of Tokyo. Wait, what? Why? You're unfollowing the haters? What does that mean, art dude? Not me, right? Ellie proudly handed it to me, just in time. I laughed. The lights flew by me. I was sitting on the back of an expensive executive car, idly watching the endless streets, the numerous lanterns snatched out of the dark, the electrical lights and signs and houses. I'm unfollowing the haters. Luckily, I don't have any haters. Oh, I am not a hater. I gotcha. Nope, I'm a lover, I'm a streamer, I'm a fighter, I'm a Hyrule Warriors. In a sense, Tokyo never slept, doing its best to ward off the darkness for the sake of every citizen who did not wish to surrender to Morpheus's embrace. But right now I only wanted one thing, to get to my bed and end this crazy day as soon as I possibly could. Start a new one tomorrow. Of course, the Kobayashi Jun question was far from resolved. Not everything was clear about my relationship with Ellie either. But today I had done something incredibly important and matured a lot. Maybe, I'd say probably, new challenges awaited us in the future, but at least things didn't look as hopelessly grim anymore. Okay. Oh, time passed. Life returned to normal. I met up with Ellie, reserved, pretended Kagome was happy, or unhappy rather. The guys in the band made a sigh of relief. The last concert was successful. Practiced before me. Graduation came. We graduated. Yay! On the day of our graduation ceremony, every student gathered in the yard. The principal's never-changing podium appeared at the school's entrance, but Ellie was nowhere to be seen. I entered her classroom, but it was empty. Well, then it was obvious. The old school wing was filled with the sound of a piano. Ellie was sitting behind it, playing one of our songs, staring unblinkingly in front of her. Here you are. I've been looking for you everywhere. Let's go or they'll start without us. Nick? She asked us if he was waking up from a daydream and turned to me. Come on, we'll be late. She closed the lid and pouted. I don't want to. She suddenly sobbed. I'm scared. Scared of what, silly? Asked with genuine surprise. I don't want our school days to end. We've been so happy here. I don't know what'll happen to us in the future. Well, we'll only be happier. Will this be you guys, by the way? Will you be sad on your final day of school? Like final day of school? When you're in 12th grade and graduating? Distracted by the mundane, lately I had barely considered the future. Probably, Mafia, says Mafia Babe. Probably. Yeah, it'll be a big change. Unexpectedly, the future for me started to consist of the following day's rehearsal, repeating bass parts and the thoughts of what to make for dinners to surprise Ellie. I guess having had my share of suffering, I just wanted to appreciate the current movement. We can't stay high schoolers our entire lives. Money? What money? Do you have money? Are you rich? We need to move on. We can't? Why not? She pouted like a spoiled child. Like a spoiled flippin' brat, am I right? Give me a second, lads. Okay. Spoiled child. I agree, Hart. I so agree. It is not the funny. Whew, I am out of breath. It's getting tough to, breathe in, properly. I came closer. Should have thought about it earlier. Well, if you wanted to repeat the year. Too late now. Kiyama-sensei is about to start handing out diplomas. Well, let's not take them. I'll get yours by mail anyway. I grinned and sat down next to her. Nick, I want to remember this room forever. She wrapped her arms around my neck and kissed me. When I'm here with you, I don't need anything else. Ellie pulled my tie off and began to unbutton my shirt. But sunshine, our diplomas will be late. What did you say there, Hart? I don't know that language, sorry. Then you better not waste any time arguing. Naturally, Ellie to enroll into a university. Universal degree would never hurt. I found a job at game development. Oh, snap. Helping programmers. I like the job. Employed as a part-timer. Nurse in the evenings. Strangely enough. Naturally. See feelsy. No other guys. Working part-time. Most placeable person. Magician. We're a tight-knit group. That's when we got lucky. Fortune favors the bold. Flip a coin a million times. We offered an album recording contract. Ooh, cool. Wasn't the biggest, but it was famous enough to satisfy our egos. Enough material, complicated tasks, several months in the studio. Our album Bad Days, Good Days saw the light of day. The moment we realized we stopped being one of the beginner bands, happened on its own. Quitting my job, and then I played bass. Moving in with Ellie, grandfather objected, but I was like, When you back down once, easy to make concessions, small matters, blah 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 blah, a couple of times, never old man was polite, getting any younger, sorry, just too much, I don't care. Too long, too much, 7 more years pass, third album, performed at Bukoden. I was 25 now. Whoa! Unlocked the entire gallery I just did. And there we were, going on stage. Ellie was a bit ahead with me right behind. The crowd had been roaring and chanting "Z feel Z" for a while now. Why do you always need to make the audience wait? To warm and rile them up before the actual performance was probably the right answer. He played on other stages and in big clubs many times before, but the Pagodan was on a completely different level. Some of our guitars traveled hundreds of meters all around us, slipping between the stands, flying all the way up to the arches of the roof. Bass was rippling rhythmically through the people in the front rows. Seemed to me the ocean was raging in front of us, preparing for a storm. Even our instruments started to sound different, more majestic and menacing, like Viking horns before a battle. Ellie was giving it her all and suddenly remembered how it all started. The day when she first walked into my room, turned the bass, and the two of us played one of the songs that would be part of today's concert. It happened so long ago, but at the same time the memories preserved their old colors. Ellie's shining smile, her golden laughter, and the attractive dimples on her cheeks had seemed so unreachable to me back then. In the break between songs, she turned to me and smiled, just like back then 7 years ago. It was incredible how two different people from different worlds have fallen in love with each other, weathered every challenge, and were still together even after such a long time. Not standing in place, no, moving forward to new heights. Could be that a world tour lay ahead of us. Maybe we even performed in Russia, now that it was open to the world after the collapse of the USSR. Another 7 years, the 20th century would be all over, but so I believed Ellie and I would be together, C would still be performing. My stubbornness could have led me the wrong way more than once, or cost me my life. If I had to make any other choice, I wouldn't be sitting on the stage with the woman I loved. And though the lyrics of her songs made thousands of people in the audience ecstatic, I knew that only our love was filling them with true meaning. Every story has its beginning and its end, but ours was just getting started. Woo! Ellie good ending and achieved every ending. And that's it, guys. That's the end. I am flippin' done. This game is now complete. Me back. You back. Welcome back. Oh, I did it, guys. It's done. So what did you think? What did you think of the game? I like the characters. They were pretty cool. I like Himitsu and Catherine and Kagome and Ellie and all the other side characters. I'd never try to make a thing like that. But yeah, it was alright. Story was pretty cool. But like I said, it did drag on a little bit. Pretty cool. We did it. We did it! You love the characters too. The music was good. It was fun. It was a good time. But yep, it's over now, guys. All done. All complete. It'll be a while till I read another visual novel like this. Oh, you like the art? You would be sad. Sad when your school was over. It's gonna be a long time until then, though, right? A long time. You like the art too, Angel Love? It was nice. Hey, look at this. This keeps moving. She's singing. Yep, bye. Are you leaving? If you're leaving, have a good one, Heart. It was alright. I think I liked this company's first game, Everlasting Summer, a little bit more. But this was good. So will you end the stream? You'll see. Don't worry, my friend, don't worry. Oh, man. But we did it. Alright. Cool song. Let's get back to the opening here. Let's check out the gallery. All songs unlocked. All backgrounds unlocked. All CGs unlocked. Woo! So who was your favorite character, guys? Did anyone have a favorite character? Mods. Installing mods. Yeah, this would add more stories to the game, but I don't really want to do that. I know I skipped a lot of dialogue at the end. Those watching on YouTube, sorry. But, I had to. You know what I mean? In future, if this game company, Soviet Games, makes any more games, maybe shorten them, remove the unnecessary filler stuff. Maybe it's a reading thing or an author's thing that I just don't get. Ellie and Irina, huh? What about Himitsu? Himitsu was pretty cute, you said a bunch of times. But yeah, Ellie was great. There's one song I wanted to hear real quick. Hang on. Gallery. This one. I don't know if you can hear it, but this is a reference to another game I streamed. She's adorable, but not your favorite. I gotcha. This is a song track from the first game this game company made, Everlasting Summer. And I love that track so much. Come to say hello, but you're not gonna go. But you're gonna go again. You need to sleep. I'll see you later, Eliza. Are you leaving too, Hiyori? I'm not ending just yet. Real quick, I want you guys to listen to the Everlasting Summer opening. Everlasting Summer opening. Trailer. This is the original theme of Everlasting Summer. It sounds good. Whoops. Oh, the volume is gone. You can't see this, but that's fine. Yep, this was the music of the last game, Everlasting Summer. It was this song that made me stream Everlasting Summer in the first place, which then made me stream this game. So it was all thanks to this song right here. So yeah, there you go. Alright. Real quick, I want to go to Steam. I want to see what other people think about this game. Maybe I should do that with all the games I stream on Steam. Look at the reviews when I'm done. That might be a good idea, eh? Where is it? I got all the achievements, guys. Every single one. Yay! Store page. Shush. So let's see here. Let me change this real quick. Computer. Here's the reviews. Picking a girl in this game is like picking what kind of poison you want to suffer from. Would read again. Will never touch a bad ending ever again in a VN. I am forever scarred. Stick to the good ending. Stick to the good endings. This game is great. Put it on my wish list. Interesting story. Play it and see what happens. Play it again. Don't quit when it feels like you're heading for one of the bad ends. Things may turn out bad for some characters. Also, there's no harem route where all the cute girls fall in love with the protagonist. Aww. Darn it. Slightly more expensive than the other game. It's worth your money. Game is still great. There's a 30% discount. Well, I don't care about that. I'm not sure if the visual novel matches the level of Everlasting Summer. You should check out that game, guys. Everlasting Summer. It's really good. When are you gonna end? You'll see. It's soon. Going through a route was definitely an adventure. Very two-dimensional characters. Characters are onions, 10 out of 10. Reading, 7 out of 10. Music is a 12 out of 10. It's on your wish list. Everlasting Summer. Nice. 10 out of 10. Here's a not recommended. The visuals and music are both very well done. Game does not have 4 routes, it has 2. Girls are paired off in their own routes. Only reason there's a problem, character writing. 1 character trait, 0 consistent writing or psychology. Main character, insane dissonance, which was Ellie's route. Liked her the best. The KGB monitoring me like a man has been kidnapped. The epilogue has its own issues. I don't know if I'll ever lock in to finish all the routes of this game. Recommended. 3 out of 10. What? Main character, incomplete, alcoholic, rage-prone, emotionally immature, narcissistic, and almost every sense just straight up cruel. I don't know that language. Visuals, music, 10 out of 10. Only the writing was as good as the art. Art and music are amazing. So everyone agrees that the art and the music is amazing. Weeaboo theme Soviet circle jerk where nothing makes sense. Awesome. Alright guys. That is the ending of this game. I am done with this game. I hope you liked it. It was pretty cool. It was great playing it. Can we play Minecraft? I'm good for now. Everything tomorrow, you okay? Sounds good. Or you can talk to me on Discord if you want to. !Discord if you want to join. But yeah, take care guys. Tomorrow we will be back to Pokemon Tectonic. Another form of hell that I have been playing. But yeah, take care guys. Hey Migo, I'm just about to end, sorry. But thanks for coming for a little bit. I'm on Discord if anyone wants to say hello and stuff. And like I said, be back tomorrow with Pokemon Tectonic. And tonight with some Golden Sun. So look forward to that. Thank you all for stopping by. Have a great day everyone. And I'll see you soon. Bye-bye!